Are you guys ready to learn things about the game?
No.
Yeah. I have questions, but I don't think they're the ones that you want me asking.
Well, you can ask them.
They just won't have a good answer.
Because I wrote like a lot of stuff down, and then I was like, you know what? This is enough. The rest of it I'm gonna make up.
I'm pretty sure at this point in my D&D career, I know that either the DM will have too many notes on information that will never be revealed to the light of day, or it's never enough and people will keep asking things that you did not think about. And it's never anywhere in between. You're only on one end of the spectrum or the other.
See, I think it's gonna be, you guys are gonna ask questions about none of what I have written down. All the stuff I have written down is gonna be super useless.
Yeah, that could be.
Kai, do you still have the secret zipped file?
Yeah, actually, I have a Finder folder. It's set to list mode, so I can't see any preview image. I just see like thing 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's fine. I don't really care if you see any preview images right now. Like at this point, it's fine.
Just as long as you know what 1, 2, 3, and 4 are, I can open them up.
Yes, I wrote descriptions. That's in my notes for sure.
I didn't make it to pre-stream. I mean, to be fair, I added you guys all like 2 hours in advance. That's on you.
Shit, did I forget something? What?
Pre-stream.
Ah, okay, cool. I was worried I forgot something.
Nope.
No, I'm good. This is on you fuckers.
It's on you, losers. Now, where's not DM Parker?
Not the DM today.
Not this time.
Not this time.
Not quite now.
I was burdened with this.
Burdened with glorious purpose.
No, just burdened.
Burdened. Imagine you start one of those Loki speeches and he just goes, I am burdened!
I am burdened.
That's it. And they're like, what? With what? Burdened.
I'm just burdened.
It sucks.
I'm depressed.
I have problems.
Man, this is very chill music. I can't wait for it to be completely changed by whatever we do first.
Oh my god.
I love how Ninja Kai said I didn't make it to pre-stream when everyone here back to the pre-stream. The pre-stream starts when we mean to start the actual stream.
No. Pre-stream.
Pre-stream?
That's when Fulldeck and Ninja Kai go into stream chat before I go live.
Ah. Kai, you have loiterers.
I do.
Loiterers.
At one point, I'm going to set a bot to just start saying at certain points when I'm not live, get the fuck out of here. Leave. Go home. Shoo.
Go
away.
It's never going to do anything, but it's just going to be constantly saying that in chat.
Yeah, every 5 minutes you should have a bot that should be like, don't you have something better to do?
I feel like in like the internet world, this stream just has like a cardboard box city town slowly building outside of it, like at its entrance.
Basically. At some point, I'm probably gonna have to like let loose the hounds. Get
it's
everyone
me.
out.
Just buy a shotgun.
Yeah, but that needs bullets.
No, it doesn't. Just needs the sound, and that's all you
just
need.
Fire blanks.
No, you just that's and people leave. Anyone and does anyone ever eat enough? Like, you have really good food, but you eat so much of the food that you are in quivering pain.
Yes.
That's story about.
Get in
I did that once
eating
when
too
I
much
ate
food.
a platter of hummus that was for 6 people.
Yeah, I feel that.
With a lot of hummus.
A
Mm-hmm.
lot of hummus.
Hi, stream. Abby's not going to be here because she started a class because it's school time. She has that whole college thing.
I also studied at the library, so I specifically banned her from coming. I kicked her out.
Yeah.
You told her, said you're not welcome.
Can't come. You're not invited.
At one
You're
point, we're just gonna
uninvited.
actually walk into her class and then just start playing D&D in there. But Abby still has to go to class.
Yeah, I just
So
left her to
Abby
class.
is just gonna be looking at us in the room playing D&D.
I'm actually emailing a professor right now to say turn on the stream.
Oh my god.
That would be so weird.
Please no.
That would actually be hilarious and
No.
awful
No.
at the same time if they were a cool professor that would just be like, so one of your friends just emailed me. Let's see what they're
No.
doing. And then just the worst shit gets said, and they're like, okay, never again.
Abby's
Yeah.
the same major as me. I can't have that happen. If you send an illustration professor, watch this stream, and it's a professor who's had me, I'm gonna off myself.
Yeah. Hey, illustration professor, this is Sophie drew this. It's on the background. I would like you to email me in detail about all of its flaws.
Yes. How about you just critique all of our art?
Critique
Oh,
all of our art.
Hey, I can send my MS Paint art.
Man, just kick me while I'm down.
We love you, Sophie.
All right, I'm gonna read off Patreon supporters because we got one more since our last PMD stream.
Uno mas?
One more. So we have Red Pool, Viridian Marker, Helix DR, That's Happy Couple, Blue Eon, Crimsona, 707, Alexander Fletcher, and Usable Mind is the newest one.
Usable Mind. I've seen Usable Mind in chat.
Yep, he was finally able to join the Patreon group. I posted this morning the behind the scenes thing.
Thank you. Thank you, all patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
Yes, thank you.
We're grateful for you,
You're
your
funding
support,
our
and your
addiction.
money.
Yeah, guys, fun fact. Gonna use a Patreon name today. So if you send in money and you request it, and I remember it.
Hey, by the way,
Don't be-
Usable Mind, I messaged you on Patreon. You never messaged back about what campaign you want to be in.
Don't be surprised if, speaking of names, don't be surprised if a few people pop up as Team Helix Grunts next week, because I had that idea. That'd be funny.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Hopefully they're the
Oh,
ones
I
that
am
I just said to go take a long walk and aren't the grunts that are possibly inside the mining shaft that's about to be hit by
Well,
a
no,
giant meteorite.
I had the idea that sappy couple, because you gave me actual names that they prefer to use, could be the Jesse and James of Team Helix.
Oh, we'll see that.
Yes. Very excited.
But yeah,
Sophie, will you tell us when you use the Patreon name?
I mean, I feel like we'll know.
I did just read off all the names.
Well, okay.
True.
To be fair, this one, it was what's his name?
Oh, is this?
Helix Jar
Oh, that,
or
okay,
Helix
yeah.
or whatever.
Mhm.
So we will be using his real name because we figured using Helix would be a little odd with just what Parker has going on
It would
and what
be-
I have going
yeah.
on.
It would kind of take out the moment if you said, "Yeah, my name is Helix," and it's like Team Helix. I'm like, guys, no.
No.
No. Hey, I'll let all patrons know, and anyone who's thinking about being a patron. If you put in mind, you don't have to submit a name. Just don't be surprised when I make something stupid happen because your name is what it is.
It's no, it will be worse.
Like if King's News joins and it's just a Snorlax.
No, King Snooze is going to be, Emperor Felix or whatever his name was, a guy who thinks he's an emperor of America, but everyone just kind of nods and says, "Sure you are, bud."
Wow, I love them.
Alright. Good times.
Okay, guys. Do we want to recap or do we want to just go? Like, what's
Look, a lot of things were said last time. I'm ready.
I
to
can
go.
recap.
Oh.
I'm gonna do it.
He's gonna do it. He's
Recap.
brave.
I'm brave.
Get it, Parker.
I'm not brave enough not to scroll up to this time on from last time. It's too far.
Oh.
Screw it. I'm doing it live. Okay. So
Gotta get a
last
link to
time,
Google Doc.
last time we set out on the expedition, where we're trying to go find Uxie's lake, or at least the entrance to it. And in the meantime, we are using Kai as a car now because he is quite large.
I can literally carry everyone.
We did stop by McDonald's where Mr. Mime apparently runs that business as well. This man has quite several side hustles.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did not.
For some reason,
got some
Lee
Happy
gave
Meals.
Toby dairy, even though Toby's
Yeah, Lee gave Toby dairy after he specifically said he's lactose intolerant.
Yeah, too nice
Yep.
to turn down a gift.
Oh, sweet boy.
And then then we moved along. There were some bug encounters. Someone may have caused a rock slide. But then we got lost in the mist. That was fun. We then found each other in the mist. We found a what was the Pokemon we encountered again? That was
Impidimp.
It was an Impidimp. That's right. I thought it was a Sableye, but Impidimp. We found an Impidimp who showed us a really cool wall puzzle, and they got really tired of us when we were taking very long to solve their wall puzzle. And then after we and the DM debated on if the answer to the puzzle was right,
No,
we
I'm not
entered.
Today, I don't need to know if someone's gonna tell me my puzzles are wrong.
There was an extended discussion on that included the DM of, wait, is this correct?
Turns out the DM was
What?
correct.
It was correct. It in fact was correct.
I did do it this time.
You did do it correctly. But we entered a very mysterious grove with overgrown statues that were difficult to make out because how old they were. A mysterious tablet with a drawing on it, as well as a lot of orbs that seem to correlate between every statue. Putting a lot of orbs in statues and all kinds of things lit up, and then I think that's it, right? I think that's where we left.
Then you jumped down the hole, and
Then
then
an hole opened up. Then I jumped down. Then Kai said, "I'm gonna jump down immediately after
Oh.
him," and then I said, "Ah, you're an asshole."
I mean, I didn't.
This
I was
is
just
kinda
told.
on you, man.
I was just told I was jumping in. I thought I was going to go in last.
No one told you were jumping in.
you know what? I'll give you guys a redo. Parker has jumped in the hole. Kai, Lee, what do you do?
I'm going to give it like 10 seconds of waiting or so. I don't know how long. If it's more than 10 seconds, Parker's breaking his ankles anyways. So
It's one of the things I can say. We'll figure that out when we get there.
I can float down. Yeah.
Okay.
hey Toby, do you want me to you want to hold on to my back while I jump down, or you gonna jump in yourself?
I don't know. Should we go down this? Is this okay?
Yes.
Well, Parker's already down there, and he has the pump, so
Is he okay? Is that an okay noise?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. He like grabs onto your little leather jacket and your makeshift scarf kind of thing. He's like, I'll try to keep my eyes open.
Okay. Bravo!
Parker, I do have a question. Would you have moved from where you landed, or are you just kind of like looking around?
Yeah, well, when I land, I'm gonna do the whole tuck and roll, so it'll move me forward a little bit.
Okay. We'll say you are out of the way.
I would like to not be a pancake.
Yes. You do feel Kai hit the ground, though.
I just bounce off the ground like half an inch.
Lee, you see Flora and Chip, who I forgot are also here. I just brought like 3 NPCs. It's fine.
Sure did.
Flora kind of like claws onto the side of like the dirt hole and just like slides her way down. And Chip is already down there. You didn't see him jump. You don't know when he got down there, but he's down there.
He's actually there's like a door, and he's just
Chip
at it.
doesn't want to ride.
Chip
Let's
was
go, I
usually
guess.
first. No one saw.
It's like a thing where you like say like, "Hey, I'm gonna jump in," and you jump in first, and then you look down, and he's like already on the ground. Like, wait.
He's like, what took you so? Yeah, no, he's there. He's ready to go.
Yeah, I just landed and looked over, and Chip's looking at me.
Yeah, Chip's already gone. He's down the hall. No, he's not. He's there with you.
He's finished the adventure. He's done.
He's like, well, Already done, guys.
Man, God, you would not believe the twist ending.
Mitsubi's been dungeoned. All right, good game. Now, when you guys jump down the hole and you reach the inside of this big open underground cavern, you feel underneath you a bunch of dust kind of cloud up and hit your lungs. And it burns, doesn't feel great, doesn't smell great. No one's been here in a really long time. And you see you're just in this middle of this long stone hallway, and there's a bunch of roots and moss on the wall. And it looks like you just kind of landed in the middle of it. Like, you look above from where you fell, and it's just like a hole in the ceiling. Wasn't maybe supposed to be an entrance, but it is now. And you are just in the middle of the hall.
Hey
Really
guys,
long.
what are the odds that doing all of that, it did not in fact open all of this and it just crumbled at the same time, so we just think this is the way to go?
Very likely, but we're already in the hole.
True.
You just thought it was a puzzle.
Well, I assume is it a left and right hallway, or is one end blocked up?
Both ends are open, but you can't see. It's just dark, kind of down them.
Well, I have the magic lantern that I can light. Who wants to hold the lantern?
Sure.
I'm assuming that Lee isn't holding it with no hands. So I'm really asking if Parker wants to hold the lantern.
I'll hold the lantern.
Okay.
I was just gonna hold it in my mouth.
So you were just like, it literally and but Lee.
Truly, I was asking Parker, like Toby or Chip or, well, maybe Flora.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take the lantern. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hand it to Toby, and it's like, all right, you're the lantern bearer for this one.
Oh, Toby is like shaking like a leaf, and he's like, I got this.
You have.
He's just holding up the lantern and just vibrating.
All right, left or right, or forward or backwards.
I want you all to make an insight survival alert check, since you have lit the lantern.
Lit.
That's lit.
It, in fact,
lit.
is lit.
Does my race have dark vision?
Alert.
Who knows? All right, Parker. Look at you with eyes.
And go Parker.
I have thumbs and eyes.
Why are you better?
Okay. I'm gonna give this to Parker because it's pretty hard to see. But Parker, when Toby is given the lantern, you see this weird sort of sheen, reflective sheen on the wall. And when you get a little bit of a closer look, you see these unknown engravings in the wall. And it looks like it's forming a few sentences. And I will move. I have this.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I almost moved it to the wrong one, and it would have been really bad because you guys were there. It was the Doug trio with legs.
Ah.
That was the other one I almost moved it to.
Man, what a hieroglyph.
Man, it's crazy. Man, I gotta really zoom out to see all of this. Okay.
Jeez.
No! Ah!
Oh, well, all right.
Oh, God.
Well,
Some
I didn't know you were
Stories.
educated in unknown
stories
language.
are better left
Stories.
untold. The knowledge you seek is
Dangerous.
dangerous. Now that there is
No.
Oh, know that there is no
Turning back.
turning. Is that you? I thought that was a W. I can't tell.
I didn't know you were educated in unknown languages.
I can read.
Part of my I can. It's because I'm a ghost.
I believe you.
Because you're a ghost
Yes.
who was raised by two bug
I
dads.
don't believe
Yes.
it's because you're a ghost. I believe it's because you're weird.
Okay. I mean,
You know, that's also fair.
you plan for this. I was gonna say Parker probably would have studied some of this, and
Yeah.
none of you know what's happening.
Oh. Oh.
That's okay.
You know, I was just voicing my inner monologue at that time. That's what was happening there.
The guy is possessed by the god of knowledge for like 2 seconds. You see his eyes glow like blue, and he just like reads this monotone.
I just kind of slap him on the cheek. Hey, you okay, buddy?
Wait, what?
Oh my god, it's got another brain worm.
You okay,
I
buddy?
think it's called I read a book once.
This is his second book.
Come on.
Hey, I'm proud of you, buddy.
Thanks.
Huh.
The book was made of rocks. I ate it after.
This is also made of rocks.
Wow.
Are you gonna eat this?
I don't know. Knowledge
Please
is
don't.
power, and you are what you eat.
Hey, Toby. Wait, Sophie, how big is this whole thing? Is it the whole wall?
Yes. This is
Okay.
like just a huge panel on the wall, and kind of like once you rub away some of the moss and you have Toby shine the light up to it, you can read this pretty clearly.
Hey, Toby. Here, I'll take the lens from him and just tell him to write down what it said in your book.
He does that. He tries to like write the unknown letters, but then it doesn't go so well, and then he just writes it normally.
Yeah. Some stories are better left untold.
Are we supposed to be here?
No,
I'm
but we are.
not
Well,
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure we're the first ones here in a very long time.
in fairness, we are exploration teams.
Yes, and I
So-
think we are searching for whoever wrote this message. So
I never really asked what the mission was. I just got really excited and thought I would come. But what are we doing?
There is.
You say
Go ahead, Kai, if you want to.
You say it.
What an excellent question.
okay, so I think basically we're here because there's a knowledge spirit here, and we need information.
More or less.
You got a lot of questions.
Is it like specific information, or are you just here for all the secrets?
Well-
We're here to learn as much as we can, but there is an issue that's been coming up repeatedly in our travels, and the guild thought it wise to send us this direction to maybe ask Uxie if they know what's happening. So we're looking for a very ancient, very smart Pokemon.
You see Toby kind of taking some notes, and before you guys realize it, you see Chip is maybe about like 20 feet down the hall, and he yells, "Hey guys, look at these neat pictures I found!"
Oh, is there
Chip,
more?
you found pictures? Oh my
Okay.
god, let's go.
I found pictures.
Is it
Uh,
Ninja Squirtles?
No,
Sweet.
this is a lie. No. Haley, no. That's a good joke though. That was just a funny joke, right?
Yes, it was a funny joke. Thank you for appreciating my funny joke.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Thank you.
Kai, if you would like to pull up those images,
All of them?
whatever you want to do, you can do 1 through 4, or you can pull them all up at the same time.
I'll
these-
do one
What
at a
is
time.
happening?
Because we only have so much light. We'll shine them one at a time.
Okay.
If you look at the stream, it's showing, right? Yeah, it is. Okay.
Fuck are those?
Well, those are the colored orbs we saw, right?
Yeah, those
Up
are
there.
the orbs. One of them's Morgan's mom.
Okay, I will be sending these in Discord too.
Okay.
And
That
That-
guy's got really fucked up hands.
yeah, he's got whack hands. It's a lot of limbs.
And
Are they the same Pokemon, but one light and one dark?
that's what it seems to be shaped like.
It's possible.
Why
Hey,
is the
Kai,
other one's
shine-
hands fucked up then?
I'll shine the light on the second one.
All right. Let me open up the second one. Is that?
That looks like.
Is that
The world.
Our world?
I think so.
It seems to be cracking.
So that's the thing in the void that destroyed the world. Is the black thing?
Mm-hmm. So, and that I'm willing to bet all of these shades around it are the same thing that we saw on the tablet where our world was surrounded in some sort of void. This thing probably brought that. Does that mean that whatever creature had those orbs lost?
Or maybe it was just held off.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously, if it fully lost,
We wouldn't be here.
yeah.
Okay, what's the next? I'll shine it on the next one.
Oh,
This looks more like the tablet, doesn't it?
yeah. It seems like it seems less like a fight and more like it used its power just to separate what was already lost, maybe. Like cutting off a diseased part.
Or saving the only good part, it looks like.
Seems.
The circle around it's the same color as the white being from the first image.
There is.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's anything or not. Alright, what's the last one?
Oh, that's okay.
Oh. Oh, that's terrifying.
That's very scary.
Why is it has so many hands?
Because it's still trying to reach in.
Oh, that's bad. Do you think the... Oh my god, do you think the... You know the people who are like behind like all the purple crystals and stuff, do you think they're trying to let it in?
Possibly. Why would it want? Why would it want to though?
This is Havoc.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
You have something?
I'm gonna show you guys the colored crystal diamonds I have. I have a
What colors
purple
do you have?
one. I have a
Okay.
red one. I have a blue one. I have a green one, and I have an orange one.
Do you still have a blue one?
The blue one's shattered now. That was the one we broke at the Frosted Peak.
Huh.
Do you... Okay, so... Are you breaking them? Breaking them bad or good?
Well, if
I don't
light
know.
went out into the void where that thing is, I don't think it's good.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So,
Well, that's what you see.
yeah. I'm willing, guys. That means that our home is all that's left.
Seems to
What
be the
about, like,
case.
we saw that human in the... Well, she was like a...
It was like a mirage.
She wasn't really there, but...
I don't know. To be fair, I don't really know what that mountain was that we saw.
Well, I think the only way we're gonna get concrete answers at this point is to find the Uxie.
Yeah. But why? I mean, you asked the question earlier, but why? Why is anyone trying to let Havoc in?
Maybe because they're just fucked up and evil.
Everyone has a reason for something.
That's true, I kind of just wanted to say that.
Even the most selfish Pokemon want things.
Not to mention someone who's intelligent enough to create everything we saw. They have an agenda. They've thought this through.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
Oh boy.
let's move on right now. We've still got a lot to
Ways to
cover
go.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So we'll just be thinking about that.
Hey Sophie, how's the rest of our team doing?
You see Chip has kind of gone up ahead. Like, he's pretty excited about exploring, and kind of like while you guys were looking, he's not connecting the dots. He has no idea what's going on. He's
he
just
just
good
wants
at
to find the
finding.
things. He doesn't care about what the things are.
Correct. That's so far what he has done. Toby is like maybe a little too close. He's having a little hard time with personal space. He's a little freaked out. Especially with kind of after like the
Sweaty
reading on the
palms.
wall, he has not been he's been a little on edge.
I
Florence
wrap this boy.
of Chip, like she's out in front, but she's within, you can still see her. Like, she's kind of like waiting for you guys. She's a good in between. She's making sure Chip doesn't go off.
Mm-hmm.
I wrap Toby in the skinny blanket and pat his head.
Toby looks at you a little untrustingly since you gave him lactose
Does this blanket have dairy in it?
dairy in it. But he kind of accepts it. He's walking down the hallway with a big blanket over his head and holding a lamp and looking just like a weird supervillain right now, I guess. Just
You know, he'll scare off anything that comes from the shadows. It's fine.
yeah, it's for sure a look. Yeah, Chip just, I would say you landed in the middle of the hallway and Chip just kind of ran to the right. But you are welcome to go back to the left, or you can just keep going. Chip is just going.
Well, I feel like it's better to just pick a direction and go than to continuously go back and forth.
I think
want-
Chip has picked that direction for us. So
I mean, we have
Really-
the earpieces. What are you gonna say, Parker? Sorry.
Really quickly, me and Toby will go glance the other direction just to make sure.
We do have the earpieces, so it's not like it's the worst thing. They still work,
Yeah.
right? If I start pushing the earpiece.
Yeah, the earpieces, they weren't working as much. I was gonna say upstairs. That's not quite
Outside.
the right above ground with all the mist, but there isn't that mist anymore interfering. So far you've been fine.
Okay.
I mean, me and Toby are going to quickly go back to the other hallway and just see if there's anything else on the walls, because I don't want to miss anything.
You and Toby go back over, and it looks like it almost mirrors kind of what you saw on the other
Okay.
hallway.
And everything's the same.
Yep, everything's the same.
Okay, then we'll catch back up. And it's same on the other side. Let's just keep going.
You guys continue down the hall until you finally reach this big opening, and you can see. Let me move my little image. You can see just the hallway opens up into this large room, and there's roots everywhere from the forest above, and you see this large, almost maze-like area. But what you do notice as you kind of walk through the path is that there are 3 hallways at about ground level, and then there is one opening that is up maybe 30 feet above your head.
Okay. 3 hallways and an opening.
do you want me to check out what's in the opening? I can fly up there.
Is there anything else, Sophie?
Yeah, hold up, I got notes.
Okay, we're not
Sorry.
done.
Forgot where I put my
Oops.
notes.
It's okay.
Godly, no, just kidding.
How? So very dare you.
Okay, so you see the 3 hallways that are kind of eye level, ground level, that you can walk without trying to like hike up or anything. You see the first 2 hallways before you. have sort of this faint light glowing from it, and then the third hallway, there's roots that have overgrown and blocked off the entrance.
Okay. So the third entrance is blocked off.
Yes. So door number 1 and door number 2 look fairly the same. Door number 3 looks dark, and there is roots covered over it.
Well, who wants to flip a apple money?
I'll flip an apple coin. I'm not keen on splitting the party, so we're gonna stick together. Heads we go to the first one, tails we go to the second one. We're going to the first one.
Alright. Door number 1.
Alrighty. You go through the first hallway door, and on the top, you see a bunch of thin, glowing, and they all sort of weave across to each other and line the top edge of the ceiling. And you see one single strand of the roots. It comes down and it reaches closer down to your eye level. And from that root, you see a bunch of projections stemming from it. And you walk down the hall and you see all these little videos that are on a short loop. And I would like you all to make insight survival alert checks.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I rolled good this time.
I also rolled well.
Okay.
Damn it! Not as well as either of you.
Everyone did great. You all did good. It's fine.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you, DM.
It's more like you would have to be really bad to not. It's fine. It's fine. You did good. You start sort of from the beginning, and what you all see is these projections of Pokemon and projections of humans, and you see they are living together. A few, you just see some everyday scenes. You see a woman in an apron flipping a pancake, and she has a little Pikachu down by her side, sitting there with a fork and knife, just waiting. You
That
see,
Pikachu's gonna be a Raichu one day, alone.
you know where he's going places.
Surfing some waves, dude.
You see a little girl at the beach, and she's playing with a big old Palo Sand. They're just having a good time. And you just see similar scenes kind of all across the first couple feet of this room. And as you continue walking down, you notice this image where there are more humans. You see a bunch of humans. They're all wearing the same thing, and they're holding clipboards. And I'm trying to think what role this should be. What would be like a memory? Kind of
smart instead of insight, and we don't have any of the knowledge stats, so maybe.
I mean, you don't have to do a skill and specialty if there's nothing that fits it.
Actually, you could just do will checks.
Just smart.
Just smart?
Are you
That's smart.
just smart?
Alright, 2 dice, y'all. Let's go.
Get it.
Who's smart?
Nope.
Not Lee.
I'm a little smart.
I'm a little smart.
I read too much Ninja Squirrels.
Yeah, Lee, you get really excited by an image of a scyther and a person, and you notice that they're working at a hair salon, and the scyther is chopping off this woman's super long hair, and you're just mesmerized. You're like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
Kai and Parker are paying attention, And you see you see the image of the humans in the white lab coats holding the clipboard. And you notice they're studying this large shape that's inside of this huge test tube. And you both feel like this... Oh my god, my voice. Sorry. You both feel like this room is fairly familiar. Like you've been there before.
The
And-
room in the video or the room right now?
The room in the video.
Okay.
With the humans in the lab coats and the big test tubes. And you can barely see it in the video projection, but you can make out the large figure that these people are studying. You see one of the people in the lab coats. They have a strange sort of symbol on their coat, a little like twisted strand. And you see them go up and inject something into the tube. And you see whatever's in that tube move. And you recognize the Pokemon that's inside there. You've encountered it once before. It's Mewtwo.
Okay. So humans made it.
Humans made what?
Humans made
The thing that we're looking at.
humans
big-
made the Pokemon that's been trying to do some terrible
shit.
things.
Oh
The one
shit,
that killed
okay,
my
well,
friend that you guys don't remember about.
dang, I was having a good time looking at the, like, that Scyther was cutting that hair really good. Okay.
Yeah, Lee's
Okay.
basically watching TikTok right now. Well, you guys are like, you're like, oh man, I just learned some earth-shattering news. And Lee's like, look at this cool trend on TikTok.
Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna focus now. I'm gonna focus up. Oh boy, I don't know if I want to do that. This seems
It's yeah,
bad.
it's a lot.
Lee, do a will check.
Oh no.
Even though the Scyther hair stuff is so cool, and you see that there's a lot of like little clips on the wall like it, and you really, really want to look at that, and that seems like way cooler to focus on, you are able to get it together and go over with Kai and Parker and see what they're talking about.
And being responsible. This is oof.
The old tale of our home is that, as we learned from the library, the Mew banished humans a long time ago. Do you think Mew chose not to save the humans, or just there were no humans here to save, and that was not how it happened?
I mean, it's hard to say when I don't know how the world came to be.
Well,
Like, was this
That
just a
sounds like
part
a
that
question
was?
we should ask the lake spirit.
Parker, you feel Toby sort of tug at you, and it's like, oh, I think maybe. And he walks you to a different projection, and you see a young blonde woman, one who looks also strangely familiar, sitting in a field of grass with a Lucario, and it's wearing a small teardrop-shaped silver gem, and it's laying beside her, and she's reading some books and writing some notes, and you see she's marking locations on a map. It looks like she's doing research. She's looking for something. And you see that image sort of glitch, and it switches to the next scene. And you see the sky turn black, and you see the Pokemon Lucario stand up and walk forward to sort of get a better look of what's going on. And then you see the Pokemon turn around, and the person who was with him has fallen to the ground and is starting to lose their color. and you see the Pokemon run back in a panic and reach for her. But this Pokemon also begins to lose color in the arm that it reached for her in. And it turns to dust, and everything is starting to turn to dust and fade away. And the Lucario reaches back and runs. And you see him pause for a moment, and tears fill this Pokemon's eyes. And you see sort of the string of like the root that came down. It strings off into like several generations of Lucario. And you see Toby sort of pauses at one, and he grabs your hand, and he points at an image down at the end. And he sort of chokes up a little bit, and he's like, that's my mom.
You're sure?
That's my mom. She's wearing her necklace, and you see there is a silver raindrop necklace with a C on it that you saw sort of in that earlier projection. It's a little worn down, but it's still fairly recognizable.
Oh, So, huh?
It seems less like the humans weren't allowed to be saved, more like that's just what was left.
Yeah.
Humans seem to not. If this is an indication, maybe humans just weren't able to survive whatever happened.
Kai, you're still standing sort of by the image of the group of humans with all the white lab coats holding clipboards, and you see out of the corner of your eye this black shadow that starts to consume the room. And the same thing happens as what Parker saw with the young blonde woman and her Pokemon. Everything starts to turn to ash, and you see the big container of the Pokemon that they were studying has cracked open, and just this dark black liquid is oozed out, and the Pokemon that was inside is nowhere to be seen. And all the humans on the ground are laying there and not moving. And that scene sort of disappears and evaporates.
That's very weird. Okay.
So, I'm gonna say this is Havoc now. Havoc
Yeah.
was destroying everything, but maybe it was made. I don't want to say it was aimed at all, because it seems just like destruction of everything, but no, there's no humans left. So I'm wondering if that's a coincidence.
Lee, I want you to make an insight survival alert check.
Let's see.
There's one
buddy.
thing I'm trying to figure out, and it's obviously Mewtwo is working with Havoc, but what happened first? Did the world get destroyed and then Mewtwo was recruited, or was Mewtwo recruited and then the world was destroyed?
This Pokemon seems to have, since it was created by humans, it doesn't feel like there was any love or nurture in that vision. Maybe they share a mutual hatred of humans, or just life in general.
But what would, at the time, what I'm saying is at the time, what would Havoc need Mewtwo for if he can already destroy the world, if that happened first?
It's entirely possible that Havoc doesn't know that Mewtwo exists.
That's true.
What if Mewtwo is just now trying to help it complete what was left.
That's possible.
Lee, for your role, you get bored. You see Guy and Parker talking, and you're just like, all right, I can't. This is too much. And you look down the hall, and you see this one image, and you're like, oh, this is like a rave. And you can barely make it out, but there's these two Pokemon, just this white blur and this black storm cloud, and they just keep clashing into each other, and the screen just goes white and then black, and it just keeps flashing back and forth.
Oh boy, guys, they're fighting. They fighting.
The girls are fighting.
You
The
just
girls
hear
are
Lydia from
fighting.
like 10 feet down go, ooh, they fighting!
I'll go over and see what's happening.
Who's fighting?
You all see the same scene. You can barely make out. You just know it's two Pokemon fighting. That's about what you can make out. It's two shapes. You see this huge black storm cloud mass and then this white streak of light, and they keep crashing into each other. And after a while, you see this big flash, and then everything turns black, and it's still. Next to that scene, you walk down a little further, and you see a lot of those same scenes that you saw earlier of Pokemon and humans, except they're all crumbling away and they're all fading apart. You see a lot of humans holding their Pokemon, or some Pokemon running away, some humans trying to run away, a lot of them caught up in whatever's happening. And you see everything sort of pauses for a moment, and you see this video of these 10 Pokemon huddled around this small white figure, and you see a large lion-like Pokemon claw into the wall and open up something. It looks like a tear in space and time, and they pick up this small, frail white Pokemon, and you can't really make it out. It looks hurt. You can't tell what's happened. It doesn't seem like it's conscious. And you see them all put that small Pokemon into the tear, and then it seals shut. And you see all the Pokemon sort of after that happened. They're all sitting there talking, and you notice among those 10 Pokemon, in addition to those 10 Pokemon, you see Mew, and you see the 3 lake spirits.
Mew's not the one
That
they put
was,
through. Mew's not the one that was.
yeah, the tiny one.
And why is
What
Mew
is it
so
then?
important?
I don't know, but maybe Mew carried on for them after they were gone.
Huh.
It didn't look like they had anything left. It looked like they lost. Or maybe it was a stalemate.
As you're all sort of trying to discuss and figure out what's happened, you continue walking down the hallway, and you see all these Pokemon sort of standing and talking. And there's no sound from these images, but you just see them talking. You see a few Pokemon sort of in tears, and there's some arguing, and it seems like a pretty heated discussion. And you see each Pokemon is given a small sort of item, and it's hard to see. It looks like it's a different item for each Pokemon, but you see Mew and lake spirits sort of conjure up an item and then give it to each of the Pokemon. And they all start to make their separate ways, and you sort of see some more videos, and you see each of these 10 Pokemon sort of settle down in a region. And one that looks familiar to you is sort of that same area where you met Nina and you saw her garden. You see an area, it doesn't look exactly the same, but it's pretty close, so maybe it was something similar or that area from a long time ago. And you see a Pokemon that looks just like Nina, and she's holding a small white flower, and you see this light sort of radiate from her and circle around this area. And you see that happen with the other Pokemon standing around there. And each area has sort of been set off and protected by these Pokemon. You continue walking down, and a lot of the videos start to get glitchy here, and it's hard to make out things. This is sort of where the history of what you're trying to figure out seems to get a little fuzzy.
Maybe after whatever went through that tear, all of this power that let all these memories stay started to get a little more difficult.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing okay?
I'm doing fine. This is pretty
That's a
wild.
lot to take in. I just have many questions and many concerns. And I don't know if us can answer them.
Yeah. Alright. Well, let's continue on and just look out for any more. And also look out for Uxie or whatever else might be down here.
Yeah.
We're in way over our heads at this point.
Wait, while we're down here, I should point out, it is possible that we aren't the first people to find Uxie, since we do know that Mewtwo seems to be very not good. Since he was after Nox and then Mina.
Yeah. Do you think these items that they were given, that's what he's after? Or are those items the orbs? I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Let's just
also
find-
don't know.
Let's keep going and we'll find Uxie.
You
We have a laundry list of questions now.
At this point, I don't think we can look at all these things all we want. We're just getting more and more info. That just gives us more and more questions.
You continue down the hallway, and you see Chip is already sort of the end of this hallway, and he is staring up at the wall, just looking at one of the projections. And Lee, I'll say you're the first to go down. That seems like something you would do.
Yep.
You reach Chip, and you sort of go over to see what he's looking at. And you see he's looking at a projection of him and Ellie and Flora, and they are all being given their guild badges.
Wait,
Huh?
what?
Why,
Why is that
you
here?
guys?
And
Were there-
Chip he doesn't really talk, and he kind of looks at you and then pushes you over in the opposite direction on the other side of the hall. And Lee, you see you, and you see your dad's, and you see you don't remember this moment, but this is when they adopted you. You see sort of it's a really stormy day, and there's a little shepherd who's been caught in a dead tree, and their little the ends of their cloth just have been pierced through by these branches and thorns, and they're crying, and you see these two scythers go and they cut away the branches and they pick you up and they take you home.
Yeah, I'm tearing up. Okay, so why are we here? Why is that
I
here?
want to know.
Is this just showing us things we want to know, or is
Wait,
this...
Sophie, if I look around, were there any other just Pokemon we've met, or is it just us from the guild?
No, it's you see, let's see, you see one of Murl, and
Oh.
when he met his husband Steve, and you see them both about to attack each other, and then they pause, and then they look at each other and they're like, "Oh, true love."
So I. It's not.
You see Mr. Mime.
Okay,
You see
I don't
him-
need to look at that one.
Well, okay, never mind. I
You
won't
see
talk-
Mr. Mime and you move on.
No, I had a story.
I'll look at the Mr. Mime one.
Okay, you see Mr. Mime, and you see him forging a bunch of doctor's documents.
I pull out a bottle and I say, "This isn't medicine."
Did he just give you alcohol?
I think that's whiskey.
I take a drink and put it away.
But,
Parker, can I have some?
Oh my god.
Just soup.
I'll give you a little sip.
Yeah. I
Give me
don't.
some-
Okay,
We'll
you're
see
giving Lee some. I'm gonna make Lee roll because they're a lightweight.
Okay. Kai, do you
Just
think
one
this is just a
little
hall?
sip.
Kai, do you think this is just a hall of memories in general?
I think so. Either it's memories or someone's just watching all the Pokemon. It wasn't personal to us.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
why it was at the beginning of the hallway was the beginning of everything that we know.
It's just
I mean,
watching.
we saw the thing with the mirrors. This is
Yeah.
different, but like,
It
And
feels
j-
like it's the same level of power.
yeah.
This is a being of knowledge. This makes some sort of sense if this really is where Uxie is. Okay. Hey, Sophie, is Lee drunk?
Yeah, I'm not gonna even let them roll. Lee is wasted.
Wasted on one sip.
Yep.
Wasted. To be fair, you weigh like
Alright,
half
but-
a pound, don't you?
You don't even have blood, so your blood alcohol level is 100%.
But your cloth absorbs it.
Okay.
You're just a
You're soggy now.
damp alcoholic sad washcloth.
Can somebody ring me out?
I'll bring you out.
Okay, you bring Lee out. It's weird and beautiful at the same time. A moment of friendship.
At least gonna smell like all day of alcohol.
Thank you. I'm just gonna sit up here on your shoulder, okay?
You don't even sit normally.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like lie here.
Okay, Kai, you just feel like this slightly damp
Oh,
weight on your shoulder. It's like kind of gross.
this fest was new.
Rip.
Sorry, Chip.
Like that thing when someone does the cracked egg trick on your head.
Well, let's keep going.
I do have
Yeah.
a question. I didn't want to completely tell everyone's backstories. I'm gonna say pretty much everyone that you can think of, if you look hard enough, you can some of their past. Like, what do you guys see
Chip.
of yourself in there that is stuck out? I know I said something for Lee. Lee, you are welcome to say something else.
Before the adventures?
It could be before, or it could be just something in
If-
the adventures that like stuck out to you, like that you saw in the hallway.
Oh, actually, if it's during, I do want to see if this thing saw what I saw in the... when I was in the maze, when
Is
Mewtwo
it-
attacked me.
Yeah. Does this thing see ED?
Basically, I'm looking for proof that I'm not fucking insane.
Well, damn, that's smart. Okay, I didn't think of that. Okay, yeah, we could do that. So, what are you looking for in particular? You're just looking to see that scene
That
and
moment.
and
If you can't find that, just see if you can find that the Pokemon exists in here.
Well, I saw them. We saw it in that one in the test tube. That was it.
Yeah.
Kai, you go to look for your field day excursion, and you see it pretty much an exact replica of. You don't see the image of when you disappeared, but you see the maze. You see Edie, the Pokemon next to you, and you see the moment you disappeared. And then you see the moment that you come out of that too, by yourself.
I'm just. If you could see my face, it's just really sad and angry, like a mix of both.
We're on our way to figuring it out, Kai.
So
We'll
when
get
we
him.
look at it, can we see Edie?
Yeah, you guys can see this.
Okay, so that's That sucks. That sucks, man.
I just want to be strong enough so next time someone doesn't die.
Yeah. I get you.
Kai,
Let's
you
keep
do
moving.
also be sort of in that same scene while you were in a state of shock. You don't quite remember everything that happened afterwards. You just remember being numb. But in that image, you see your mom has run up to you and she has you tightly in her arms. And she's hugging you and she's just holding you and she's crying.
Wait. Did that happen?
That happened.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think you were a little traumatized, bro.
Yeah. Repressed memories is what I'll call it.
Mm-hmm. Anything from Parker's past?
I don't think you're going to find anything terribly interesting.
Oh, that was just me asking you. Do you have any?
Huh? I'll look.
Okay, we go to Parker's wall.
Where's my
Lydia.
collage?
Yeah,
It's so much
Videos.
meditation.
all look the same. It is Parker sitting there with an older Mine Chow eating rice with chopsticks. And you see the first video, Parker's using two hands trying to use the chopsticks. And then by the last video, you see Parker has mastered the chopsticks. And you see the older Pokemon kind of sitting beside him. Every now and then we'll try and like move the bowl or like it's a weird training exercise. It's happening.
Huh.
Hardest training of my life.
You know, my dad's taught me how to use a knife once.
I don't want to know that.
My mom didn't let me have a knife.
I'd figured that.
It was a safety knife at first. I think now I'm good to have a real knife.
I don't think that's true.
Agree to disagree. I feel like I need a knife.
Well, 2-1.
Okay, guys. Let's keep going.
Eventually you just sort of reach the end of the hall. The last thing you see is almost like a weird mirror. Like you can see yourself and like it's like a 2-second lag of like what you're doing and just walking towards the end of the hall. And
Wait.
that's
I'm gonna try and go with the mirror.
Is it like? Can I see like some kind of device connected to this, or is there just?
No.
Oh.
Is it a solid wall if I try to run into it?
You're a ghost, so I guess you can go through it.
But it's not like the other mirror world we went into.
I'll put my hand on it.
It's just you can feel your hand goes through sort of this hologram image, and you can feel the roots on the wall.
Oh,
Is
that's
there any
funky.
If I feel around, is there anywhere to proceed forward?
No, it just looks like it stops.
Huh.
Okay, so it's not the mirror thing from the
No,
cave.
it's not.
So it's just moving pictures. Is there still the rest of the hall, or is this where the hall ends?
This is it. This is the end of the hallway.
Huh.
Wait, is this mirror just reflecting what's in the room, or if we leave with someone staying here, does it follow us?
It's not like a mirror. It's still I said it kind of like reflected like a lagging mirror almost. It's like you're being recorded. Like you're looking like, you know, when you guys go to like CVS pharmacy and you see a security camera, like it's like that.
I just mean,
Okay,
like, is it following us, or is it just this room specifically that's recording and we're just standing in it?
It doesn't seem to be following you.
Okay.
I'm gonna just take a gander and like shout hello.
I think this just means we're being watched, Lee.
Yeah,
You don't get a good effort.
thanks.
So-
Oh no, I figured it was worth a try.
Shall we turn back and try the other hallway?
And now's a good
Yeah.
time.
I will
Yeah,
hang out the back
just
to
one
just like
thing.
look for anything that we missed.
Can I see? I'm just worried. Is Mina's? If I find an image of Mina's garden like after we left, is it still okay? Because we did leave Nox there with Mina.
You go to try and find like a section of Mina's past, and you don't see anything bad. It looks really normal.
Safe
my God.
for now, at least.
We squashed the brain bug of Nox, so there's 2 of them guarding it now.
Yeah. Maybe we should all check up on our parents real quick in this. Meaning, I'm really concerned and I want to see if my dad's are still good.
Hey,
Hey,
let
Jeremy.
me know if there is anyone you want to look into their past, or anyone you want to like specifically look for, and I will
I
let
don't
you find them.
I don't know if these are live security feeds.
You know what? I am curious about one person.
Sure.
Soren knows a whole lot.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
I wanna-
Soren
Oh my God,
and
guys,
Sophie know a whole
Guys,
lot.
let's find Sophie.
Soren and Sophie. Wait. Okay, I have one more after this one, but wow, I want to find Soren and Sophie.
Okay, hold on. Let me think of how to deal with this.
Did we ask a question you didn't
You
expect?
gave us a time
No.
machine.
Like, okay, I knew how to deal with Soren. I didn't quite know how to deal with Sophie. But I think it's fine. I got this. You try and find Soren, and you're all looking sort of in that same area, and you end up working backwards. You see sort of like the current-ish Soren that you've most recently seen, with a little bit of gray feathers in the hair. And you're able to sort of trace backwards. How far, like, where do you want to start? Like, you can go all the way to the beginning.
I think it's nice to start if I can find when he met Sophie. Because
Yeah.
that's probably where it all kicked off. He doesn't seem like the guy that was born into this.
We learned Soren is old as balls.
Yeah, he is
Like
old as fuck.
3,000
That's why
years
his
old.
hair's so grayed.
Okay, well, you sort of trace along the lines of all the Soren images, and you end up back towards the beginning of the hallway.
Oh, Jesus.
And you see an image of a small rowlet, and it looks like it's really sick, and it looks like it's losing color, a lot like some of the humans and the Pokemon that you saw who lost color and then pretty quickly turned to ash afterwards. And you see this pink Pokemon, Mew, go up to it, and it picks up the Rowlet, and you see this Pokemon Mew sort of bite the end of its finger, and it draws a little bit of blood, and it gives it to the Rowlet, and you see the color slowly start to restore, and you see this Pokemon sort of give this Rowlet a makeshift blood transfusion, and you see color slowly start to come back to this Rowlet until finally it's able to sort of regain consciousness and recognize what's going on around it.
Okay, so Soren met Mew. We have a lot to ask him when we get back.
Sure do.
Jesus Christ, Soren.
Soren, like, knows people.
Soren knows people, and Soren has god blood.
But what happens after that? How does he, like, get to the guild?
You start to sort of trace back to the guild, and you run into this weird middle section where things are fuzzy. And you don't really quite understand how what exactly happened. You see in one scene, kind of before the fuzziness, there's Mew, and then there's Soren. And then you see in after the fuzziness, you don't see the Mew anymore, and you just see Soren. And then you see Sophie, and there doesn't seem to be much of an explanation, or you can't find where she came from, or what exactly happened. There's sort of this weird gap in the hallway of all these images that are glitching out.
I wonder if just the images are glitching out, or if Soren's memory itself is glitching out.
Either way, it's about what I expected. Sophie does just kind of fall into your life.
Yeah.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said.
Okay, well that's concerning, because then also this glitch could be Sophie's memory, yeah.
Could be Uxie's.
True.
Things that Uxie didn't see.
Did you guys want to try
Let's
and...
go find that bitch.
Oh wait,
I've got one.
Yeah.
I've got one more.
You got one more?
Sophie,
Yes.
I'm gonna look for the origins of that egg I won at the carnival.
That's what I thought you were gonna say, but I'm okay with this. Love it. Okay.
I want to know.
Can we see if the egg is hatched yet too? Because like, if we catch up on,
I don't know.
Morgan's mom.
If I can find it at all, if I can find it at all, I'll see how far forward it goes.
Insight survival alert check, because the bazaar's pretty crazy.
And also the egg is probably new.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. This is the most important role of my entire life.
Oh.
And I was mediocre at it.
It was mediocre.
That tastes pretty good.
You see a small hooded figure going to the bazaar and giving this egg to some sketchy dealer there. And then you see this hooded Pokemon run away. And then you see that Pokemon in another small image. And you see just the hood on the ground. And dust.
What?
Is that how we die? Do we just turn to dust?
No,
Not last time I checked.
when Pokemon
When you
die.
double check in the pages, you do see Pokemon that die normally on the wall.
Okay.
You know, there's funerals, burials, all
boy.
that sort of thing.
Okay. Forgot for a second.
Did they know they were going to die? And so they had to give the egg away to the nearest place?
Probably.
Or maybe they
I
knew
guess
that they were being chased.
That's oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Meaning I think the egg is very important and maybe we shouldn't have left it with Morgan's dad.
I think
Well,
leaving
it's
it with
also
Morgan's
with
mom
Morgan's
was also the
mom.
better
Okay.
idea, though.
That's true.
I guess maybe we shouldn't have left it with Morgan's dad. Parker, you kind of trace along the egg history.
Oh no.
You see Morgan's dad just lovingly holding this egg and
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
bringing it toast and
Wait.
blankets and sharing stories with it. It is not hatched. No, but he's it's
He
the
brought
thought that
it
counts.
toast?
Yes.
I mean,
At least he's
I guess it
trying.
it warms it.
You
He is
see,
a himbo.
Sarah end up eating the eggs toast, and you see Morgan's dad yelling at Zora. You can't make out what you're saying, but you assume it's about eating the baby's toast, and that was for the baby.
Well,
Okay, so yeah, that tracks. Morgan's dad is a himbo. At least
So-
he's taking very good care of it.
Yeah.
well, should probably check
Do
up
we-
on it again.
Well, Sophie, did the Pokemon in the hood? I know it was a hooded Pokemon. It was hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
Did the shape have any reminiscence to any of the statues we saw outside?
Is it like humanoid, quadrupedal,
Is it too hard to tell?
round?
Give me like 2 seconds. I have to grab my notebook and check my list.
Okay.
I think so.
Just from across the room.
I'm gonna point
Ah.
out something while Sophie's getting that.
uh-huh.
As bad of a memory as it is, when Edie died, I don't remember Edie turning to dust.
Okay. I have my
Okay.
notes. I have the list. I also said 10 Pokemon, but then, okay, there's one that's like 2 Pokemon, so I guess it's technically 11, but just no one please count me.
It's
I
okay.
figured-
I
you
guess
know,
I
I
guessed what
figured.
it was.
And we
Yeah.
figured that's what you meant.
We figured it out. I hope everyone else did too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also,
guys,
I did
spoilers.
say,
One of them is 2 Pokemon, and I can't count.
but I did say while you were getting your notes, Sophie, that I didn't remember Edie turning to dust when Edie died.
That doesn't mean that Mewtwo killing people just turns them to dust, but
That's what I mean. Maybe there's someone else other than Mewtwo,
we know that Havoc's destruction of the world turns things to dust,
but Havoc's
There
not
was
in
a-
here.
as far as we know.
Just
Havoc might not have broken it, but
Lucario wasn't. So the original Lucario turned to dust.
no, the original Lucario made it out, and that's where
Yeah.
Toby's line comes from.
Okay. Okay, because I was gonna say if that does that mean the Lucario's? Yeah, no, it does not.
Well, I don't know what that means. I'll come back to that later.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Parker, I will tell you this. It was a fairly small Pokemon.
Fairly small Pokemon. Okay.
So
It's
of the
new.
Pokemon there was only three small ones.
One was
Mina.
Mina's grandmother, and just Mina's line. What was the Pokemon coming out of a rock? I don't even remember what that was. For a
Oh.
pink orb.
Uh,
Am I stupid? Am I remembering my legendaries wrong? I don't remember what that is.
I think that was one that was actually incomplete.
Was that the incomplete one? Oh, I have a small ocean Pokemon, a Pokemon coming out of a rock. I don't know that one.
I don't
The
know if
two
I did my best job describing it.
No, you said there were broken statues, so I basically wrote down what I could. Two similar Pokemon of red and blue. A large one with wings and deep blue eyes. A large winged one that looks similar to Zora, so we're pretty sure that was Zora, or Zora's line. A crescent-shaped Pokemon. And a large one that was too broken to tell.
Ah.
Yeah, this was not the broken one, but its base looked like a rock. Like
Oh. I know. Okay.
Base looks like a rock.
like
That statue,
okay,
it's a rock.
if you've ever seen
like a
sculpture
die?
and like an unfinished sculpture base, it looks kind of like that. Like it was like the top is finished and it makes a form, but then once you get like to the leg area, it's like the sculpture didn't finish.
It's hard to say things knowing what it is without being like, I'm not the DM, I can't describe this.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kai, I'm sure you figured it out. Lee, I told you forever ago what
Yeah,
this
I think I remember.
because I was like, Lee, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you because you're not gonna remember and you don't know Pokemon, so it's funny.
That's
Yeah,
true.
no, I have no fucking clue what it is or what it does, but I know it. Well, I know the name, I think. So I guess I know what it is. But no fucking clue what its significance is.
Okay. Well then.
Have fun, Parker.
I don't know what this thing's about. It has a nice home now, though, so that's fine.
You don't know your own child?
It's not my child!
God damn it, Parker. Can't be dad.
It's not my child! I rescued it from a death circus!
I think we should move on.
Okay. Is
Yeah,
there
let's
anyone
go.
else you want to look into here?
I would like to look into what was the team?
Team balance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that might not be bad.
Where specifically in you can see just broadly while you're kind of walking down the hall, you see the forming of team balance. You see you go all the way back to the individuals of team balance. The you know what? Make an inside survival alert check. All of you who are looking into this.
And survival alert. I still rolled a 1. I'm not looking at TikTok.
Oh,
Not looking at TikTok.
I don't
I
know
am
what I'm
looking-
looking at, but I'm looking at the right screen, I think.
Parker was the 5. That will your roll for
Yeah.
this. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was previous or not. I don't know. It's hard to keep track. Okay. Kai, looking at TikTok.
Okay.
Parker, third eye open. Okay.
Wow.
You guys start to trace back the team balance members, and you start from the beginning. Hold up. I gave them names at one point, and now I have to go through all my notes.
Rip.
At least you
So-
never told us the names.
I said the names for them at
I think you
one
did.
point, and I feel like
Yeah.
someone's gonna call me out on it, and I can't
It was-
handle
Billy, Bob, and Jim.
No. Okay, I know the names for one of them.
Okay.
it's Ariel is the pre-marina.
Oh yeah.
So you go all the way back and you oh my god, my notes are so scattered, this is terrible. I had some like big brain shit going on. This is fun. You go all the way back and you see a float cell and you see this pre-marina, and then you see a young little weasel in between them, and you see the pre-marina give the float cell a kiss and then kiss the weasel on the head and sort of wave them off, and you see the little weasel starts to cry.
Oh.
Oh. Is that
Um,
Ellie?
I'm gonna assume there's more than one weasel in the world.
Yeah.
Chip like smacks you, Lee. He's like, "That's Ellie."
Oh my god!
That's what I said. I said you guys thought I was a fool. I was
Yeah,
right.
Parker's the one that was in disbelief,
Listen.
and Louise the one that got smacked.
Lee, look, and you like look a little closer, and you see a very small Chip, next to little baby Ellie,
Oh.
Oh my god, it's you.
like reaching out his like hands, little grabby arms, wanting it.
Wait,
Oh
so
my
you
God.
knew team? Wait, you knew? What?
I don't think we should tell.
What about them?
It's okay. We should probably move on.
Okay. Chip
No,
just kind
no.
No,
Hold on.
Parker.
Hold on.
You think they
God,
have a right
God, if
to
there's ever a
know.
time, if there's ever a time,
Yeah.
it's probably now.
I mean, we got a whole ass wall over here that can show exactly what happened.
Okay.
Chip,
yeah.
we started this because Team Balance went missing.
Well, I
And we
thought they were just on like a long journey, and they probably like haven't come back yet. You know?
Oh, we found them, but we found them.
You know the
with-
purple crystal stuff?
Wait, what?
Okay, so you don't know purple crystal stuff?
We're the only ones that knows that, Lee.
Oh fuck.
What do you mean you found them? Like you met them, like on your journey?
We know where they're being held. Well,
What?
sort of.
We tried to get to them, but something kicked us out before we could.
The door slammed on us, more or less. The creature, the Pokemon, that's trying to help whatever the evil around here is, that's what has Team Balance. And that's all we know.
You see, Chip is a bit at a loss for words. He's not quite sure. He's having a very hard time processing this.
I'll go and like try to sit comfortingly on his head, I guess. I'm like just a blanket, so I'm like
Okay, you are currently a wet alcoholic blanket. So you
Still a wet alcoholic.
you sort of just flop onto Chip, and he just starts crying.
I'm sorry, Chip. Okay, if Chip's crying, then I'm crying because I
Yeah,
cry when other people
starts
cry.
crying, and then the alcohol gets in his eyes, and his eyes are all red. He's just like,
And
on
his
the...
eyes are drunk.
Okay, yeah. So Lee and Chip are on the floor just crying.
Chip, I love you.
I love you too, but I don't know what. There's a lot happening.
I'm so sorry, Chip.
That's. I didn't know that they were not okay.
Yeah, no, it's been a really big bad
That's
crime.
Ellie's mom.
Guys, that's Ellie's mom.
All right. Add that to the web of everything. Okay. Chip, this is why we're here. Because the further we get along this trail, the closer we get to finding and saving them. So we got to keep going, okay?
You see him like snort up like a big snot. He's like, I have so many questions right now.
No,
I
that is why
can't.
we're
We
here.
gotta find that little yellow dude.
All right. We got to get back to the other hallway then.
All right.
Here we
You
go.
good?
Here we go.
You good in this hall?
Anything? Okay. Any other Pokemon we should check up on?
I don't think so.
I feel like there is.
I mean, we could sit here and look at everyone we've ever met, but I feel like we've got... Time
true.
is still a
Okay.
factor.
Let's go. Okay.
I would have such a great time if we went through the backstory of every single NPC I've ever forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
how's-
know, I
you
want to
know-
know. I want to know the backstory of that intern Pelipper
No, you know
who
what?
we keep torturing.
How's Gary the Slowpoke doing? I think we gotta ask the real
Alright, you know what?
questions.
You know what about that racist bird?
Let's not get crazy.
That's just
Okay,
a
let's
grave on a
leave.
hill. That's all we see.
Great. Here we go. Let's start. I'll run through this real quick. Intern Pelipper. You notice he's always had a very sad existence,
Oh,
and now he's stuck working the mail, doing a sad mail job.
so he's sad.
But there's a really there's a very cute Oricorio that comes in every day, and
Oh.
he does the mail for her.
You
And
go,
she
son.
asks him to deliver a letter, and she keeps him going.
You
You get
whatever
a
keeps you
Pelipper.
going, my man.
Tom. What's your name? Tom? I don't remember.
Tom?
Hmm?
The Rotom?
No, it was. Oh no, that was Thomas.
Thomas.
What are we talking about right now?
I thought you were like the Rotom from the other game.
No,
How's he
because I was
doing?
like, I know this Pelipper had a name at some point, and it was
No,
something
we're talking
generic
about
like
Thomas
Tom.
from Shadows.
Oh god.
I think I'd
Thomas.
rather not learn his backstory.
Yeah, no. Oh, his backstory is I introduced him to the fucking shadow dimension, and
Oh yeah, I am still in a contest for my soul with him, aren't I?
Yes.
oh shit,
Uh,
what was the
You
deal?
asked about the racist bird. You see him being mean to everyone at the guild thing, the guild orientation day. And then you flash forward and you just see him being a jerk all the time to people without wings. And then you flash forward a little more and you see Bruce. And you see Bruce with a gun.
Oh my god.
And then you flash forward a little more and you see a dead bird. Big old dead.
You see a
Big old
chicken
bird.
Just
wing.
being like, the game was rigged from the start.
In a big fucking checkered jacket.
Exactly.
You see there's like a little like gang symbol by his body.
He left a knife so he could say it was self-defense.
Yep.
Holy shit. Alright.
So he's
Oh,
dead,
man.
and no one's allowed to ask about him anymore.
Oh, man. Did he have
Okay.
kids? Is he passing on the legend?
Isn't it
No,
Merle?
he's dead. His line
No.
ended. You see all these strings connecting. His is
Is it a
done.
dead end? Is this a dead end
Everyone-
line?
Everyone watching now and forever, just know that he is dead and we can never talk about him ever again.
On this
Just
day,
know.
Sophie defeated racism.
Yes.
Yes.
Just know, if you make a mistake, you can kill it.
Alright?
Yeah, I got some things to talk about in 5e now.
Man. Add that to
It's
this
gonna
time
be
on.
It's gonna be a massacre.
Oh boy.
Add that to this
who's
time on.
Okay, you said racist bird, you said Pelipper.
Gary the Slowpoke.
You're
Gary
the
the
slowpoke.
You see, last you heard from Gary, he wanted something. And you look over and you see he's making just a bunch of banana bread and banana
Oh,
smoothies
nice.
and all sorts of banana goods. And you see he is bringing them over to the little community garden center that you guys helped work on.
Is he gonna make it before the day's over?
No.
Oh.
You see that this has been over the course of like a week. He's been walking.
Oh. Good on him. Good on
He's
him.
still
God.
going.
Still go.
Still going.
Anyone else?
Is, actually on a not even that much more of a serious note, but how's Lydia doing? The frost lass we left.
Oh yeah.
How'd she
It's
end up doing?
on.
You go to search for her and you see a couple of different scenes. You see she started at the mountains, and you see her sort of just exploring through different areas, and you see eventually she sort of stumbles into this big open field, and you recognize it as Mina's garden. And you see she ends up meeting Mina, and you see there's this small little garden patch of these little frozen flowers, and you see Lydia is helping sort of tend to them, and Mina's over there with her.
Good for her.
All right, that's a satisfying conclusion.
No, it's not. Because I just remembered what I wanted to what I was thinking about that we forgot.
Please tell me it's
What?
not. Please tell me. No. I'm worried I know what it is.
It's Sarge.
Okay, thank God.
Oh, the war! Did the war happen?
When they asked about Sarge. Oh my god.
Did the war happen? Lee, I love how you
Yes.
typed, I remember what I wanted to find in Twitch chat.
Yes. No, because I needed them to know.
They listening!
I was waiting. I was like, this is the moment. If you want to know about the war, this
I
is
want to
it.
know about the war.
I was hoping someone would
Why?
forget. It would be really funny, and I would just rub it in your guys' face afterwards.
All right, Sophie, did the war happen? Let's find out.
Yes or no?
Okay. I feel like I might have had a story for this at one point, and now, so we're gonna do my best. You go back and you trace back to Sarge, and you see him before he is in the guild as what's the
Young Goose.
Yeah, Young Goose. I was like, it's not Gumshoes. That's the one that's. You see him as a little young goose.
Little
A
angry
young
boy.
a fresh boy,
Tasting
a
off some
boy out.
ratas.
And you see him with a Makuhita, and
Oh, Bob.
they are they're just kind of out there exploring, doing some stuff, hanging, bros being bros. And you see
We're gonna find out this was just a game of pretend between two friends that got way out of hand.
Yeah. You guys remember those previews for that movie War with Grandpa or whatever the fuck it was?
I have no idea
What?
what that is.
What? Hold on. Stop. All right, D&D has to stop for a second so Lee can tell me what the fuck I just heard.
It's just this kid gets in a prank war with his grandpa because he's mad that his grandpa took his room. That's really all I know about it, but it just reminded me because I was like,
Hold on.
did Sarge get in some sort of weird ass prank war that it just went too far?
Holy shit, the war with Grandpa, it's a real thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely shocked that I searched this and it actually came up. I'll be honest.
I saw so many previews for it, everywhere. I don't know why.
you see a couple of other young sort of with Sarge and with this Makuhita, and suddenly you see this big crack open up in the ground, and this huge black beam comes out from under it, and it shoots into the sky, and the area and the sky around start to turn black. And then you see very quickly it is sealed off, and you see a white flash, and you see Uxie, and you see all the Pokemon sort of in the area, looking around a little dazed, and you see Sarge just staring at Uxie, and then the Pokemon disappears. And a lot of sort of that area that you're looking at is also very glitchy.
Sarge, the
The
only
war-
one who remembers the war because of
Or
Uxie.
maybe Uxie has the power to erase memories. Did Uxie plant an idea of a war to cover up what actually happened?
I think it's also important that our world is cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, like, talking about a war, those two Pokemon that were fighting, like, maybe they have people fighting for them, too, like, and that's the war.
I would assume that's the Protectors and Mewtwo. And whoever else is with Mewtwo. We don't know if he's the only one. Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna make an executive decision and say we're done with this
done.
hallway.
yeah, we're done. I remembered the thing that I wanted to remember, so we're good.
That's good, Lee. I was hoping someone would ask that.
Wow.
Well,
It was
the
a
war
cover.
wasn't
It was
real.
a government cover-up.
It's all
Okay.
coming together.
My God.
It turns out that jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Ah.
Okay, you guys walk out of this hallway, and are you going to door number 2?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to door number 2.
Door number 2.
No, I'm gonna
you know-
break down door number 3.
Oh my god. I mean, you can do that. Well, we can get there.
Well, hey, last resort. I'll break it down. I got Fire Fang. I can burn this whole place down.
Door number 2. You go down and you also see the same sort of projection. And you sort of keep walking down, and you notice a couple of familiar faces. You see Mr. Mime working at McDonald's and passing out Happy Meals to all his happy customers. You see your other guildmates. You see they're in a library. There's a couple of charred areas, but they seem to be researching and reading books, and they're all sort of pointing. You see Soren flipping through an old tome, and you see Abby has pulled down some other big scrolls off the wall. You see Toby sort of fixate on one scene, and he goes over and he sees his mom, and she's sort of just sitting there reading a book, laying in some grass, and you see, what else do you see?
I wonder if they can hear us.
Doubt it, but hello.
You don't get a response. I don't know.
You get a
Yeah, no,
response
sorry.
from me.
Sorry, Kai.
You know, I'm just glad that I wasn't the one that had to yell.
It's okay. I will take every opportunity to yell.
Oh.
I have no shame.
The images in these halls, like, they're not on a loop like they were in the other hall. These seem to be like a continuous live stream feed.
Oh, so we can go see what our family's doing right now. Okay.
Lee, I feel like every time we stop anywhere, you immediately think to write your family.
I miss my Scyther dance, Parker.
We did. I think they're fine. We did just see them in the memories thing.
Yes.
Lee,
Okay.
you go and you see, you're like, what are they doing right now? And you look over and your Scyther dads are having a scythe wrestling war.
I think
And
it's just called a sword fight.
No. It's just it's wrestling. It's like arm wrestling, but they just have sights. They don't have arms.
I know
Wait,
what
they
I
just
said.
Oh no. Okay, well,
It's why they taught me to use a knife so I could participate.
No.
No!
I can't.
I'm so sorry.
I can't handle this.
even
Okay,
hear
I'm
what he
done.
said, so I'm thriving.
I'm gonna. I was about to throw out a serious theory. Do we
Yeah, I
think
don't-
like, Sophie? You said that. So far, these seem to be like present. What's happening right now?
That's sort of what you assume. Because your other guildmates were sent to go look at the library, and that was sort of the scene that you saw them. They're carrying out their mission right now. They're all like reading through books and looking through old scrolls and stuff, and it looks like like nothing's like looped or repeated yet.
So, guys, the first hall is the past, and this is the present. Is the sealed one the future?
I think it's very disheartening that the sealed one, being the future, has no light coming from it.
I take it to mean that it hasn't been written yet.
That is the optimistic way to see it.
Yeah. So my brain catches up on what people say like 2 seconds after they say it. I said that in chat, but I did not process what Kai said.
I really love that you're typing to chat even though they can hear you in the street.
Just let me live my life. I have to get my words out, otherwise I'm gonna forget them.
But, okay.
Okay, serious time.
So, is there anyone... Okay, so do we want to know where people are right now?
Well, it seems like I did indeed save
Well,
the
okay.
library, and that was one of the questions I was gonna ask Uxie.
We saw some of the 10 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Can we use this to figure out where they are right now? Because we did see the lion Pokemon. Well, that was one we did get a clear image of.
That lion was also missing from the statues. I'm willing to bet that was the large broken one.
There's also the other lake spirits that we wanted to find.
That's true.
Although I'm worried that we'll just see a lake and not sure where it is.
Yeah, it's like, there's
I'm
like spirits
gonna-
by the
I'm gonna be
I
honest,
see
like,
water.
I can tell you their surroundings, but you're not going to be like, yes, I recognize that. Okay.
If I take a
Right.
left turn at Albuquerque...
I know, that's rock.
Well, there's a sign right there, right next to them.
I think the lake spirits are in the lake.
And it'd be real convenient if these videos came with a little "you are here" thing.
Yeah.
Location tracking.
Okay. Well, 3 of them you technically know. So you see sort of a live stream. You see Mina and Nox are together. You see Mina's healing a deerling who looks like it injured its back legs, and Nox is sort of there. He's just sort of watching over Mina. You see Zora, and she is sitting there. You see Hot Wings is passed out on the ground. A glass of empty milk sort of slightly spilled on the floor, and they're both sort of sitting there, huddling around this pink egg. And I want you all to make an insight survival alert check.
Do check.
I'm struggling. Parker still sees though.
I
I'm
vaguely
on high
see.
alert.
Okay, Parker, you were on high alert because that was yours. You see the egg move.
Parker?
Is
Yeah? What?
there? You saw that too, right?
So what?
Is
Yeah,
the
it's
egg?
a spilt
It did.
milk.
What wobble movement?
I look at the egg. Is it moving anymore?
You know what, Lee? I'll say you rolled well enough that you do see it move.
It is moving, Parker.
If
Is
I
it gonna
watch a
hatch
little,
right now?
if I
We
watch
just-
a little longer, does it seem is it increasing?
It's like
You know
watching
what?
paint
Sure.
dry.
We're gonna watch a live childbirth. That's what's happening today.
It's just an egg. It's not like actual. It's not like human childbirth.
No, I know it's just an egg. I was like, I could do this now. I'll give Parker's piece of. You see it start to, and you see Hot Wings wakes up and he starts just screaming, and you see Zora sort of anxiously just staring down, and you see these little pink diamonds come out the top, kind of like crack through the top of the egg, and these red eyes appear. And Parker, I will put this in Pokemon for
You
you.
get to see what it is.
Yay!
Oh, okay. No word of a lie. I don't know what that is.
It's out of character. It's called
I'm glad.
Diancie. They are very,
I
very
knew it
special
was.
carbink.
I knew it was called Dancy. I don't know what the fuck it does.
Oh my god. It's beautiful.
Your baby's legendary.
Oh,
Thanks.
they're gorgeous.
Congratulations, you're a stepdad.
Congrats, Parker.
I wouldn't go that far yet. Literally wasn't there for the birth.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, well,
you were
you're-
you were more
you
there than you
are
could have
a
been in your
non-
role.
I watched it on a live stream.
I don't know if that makes it better.
This is gonna be really hard to
Uh,
explain later on.
Were you there for my birth? I watched it on YouTube.
Listen. I'm just. This part was more curiosity than anything. I was fine knowing that it was with Zora. I trusted Zora perfectly to take care of them. This was me wanting to know and wanting some closure. I'll go back and I'll see them. But I'm okay now for a little bit. Also, I don't know how. Like, this is a fiery bird town. This is gonna be an interesting.
I can't wait till we get there and it hasn't spoken a word and it just looks at Parker and goes, "Papa."
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna climb up you and snap your neck. I'm gonna kill you.
It instinctively knows.
That's when we also lose Parker in this campaign. It's just down to Lee and Kai, survivor. Yeah, I will say you all sort of connect the dots. This was one of the Pokemon that was sculpted at the time.
Oh, it's coming out of a
Yeah,
rock.
because its bottom half is a rock.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wait. Oh no.
Oh no?
I don't know what that was. Okay.
I also don't know what that was.
No, think about it. Its parent, who was, I'm assuming, of similar shape of this, is what I was trying to lean towards, is one of the smaller ones. Was we saw in the past either died or was killed and is turned to ash. We have seen one thing that turns Pokemon to ash. I'm willing to bet anything this is not a coincidence. Because this is absolutely one of the Guardian lines.
Does Zora recognize it? Because Zora is a guardian line.
You look back to the live stream and you see Zora definitely is in deep thought. Hot Wings is freaking
Zora's
out.
just like, is Parker a Diancie actually?
Yeah, Zora looks like she has a lot of questions, and Hot Wings is not being helpful.
Yeah, well.
Hot Wings has toast.
He's still trying to feed the Diancie toast.
I love the idea of a Pokemon just peeking out of an egg and then gets a piece of toast thrown at it.
He had toast ready. You saw toast.
And actually, I just feel like it just popped out of the egg and it looked at hot wings, and he just panics, just throws toast at it.
Yeah,
But I don't know what to do.
yeah, you can see this little baby Crystal just munching on some toast.
Oh, she's so cute.
Anyways. What else is happening that we need to see?
Oh, I have so many thoughts. Okay. Well, I have so many thoughts and so many not thoughts. Oh well.
1, 2.
This is.
You've met 4 of the Guardians of the Galaxy, so there's 6 left.
I've written
And
down every
supposedly-
Guardian.
One of them is here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we find that bitch, get some answers.
Is there anyone else we should look in the present?
Us.
Wait,
I
Kai.
mean, we could do team balance again and see if
Yeah,
they're still
I was-
there.
Along that same line, Kai, I was gonna say find Edie.
I feel that one might be turned off.
There's only one way to
Yeah.
find out. You said that, granted, Havoc and Mewtwo are 2 different things, but I mean, we saw what was we saw what was happening in there. It's a lot of madness in there. Who knows what happened after you left? Either way, we'll find team balance, and maybe we'll find Edie.
Well, obviously these cameras don't go into the shadow dimension, because it didn't follow
Well.
me in there.
Okay. Sophie, is there anything that looks like it's team balance?
I'm gonna say there is. Well, you look and you sort of can make out that area that you were in, but this is like it's like a really glitchy, dark live feed. It's really not clear, and you only know it's team balance because you've seen them there. You see the 3 test tubes, but you also see a 4th test tube with another shape inside of it, but you can't make out anyone.
Okay. I assume we don't see any Edie evidence.
You only saw 3 test tubes when you were there, so there's an extra 4th test tube. That's all you can really make out.
Okay. Anyone have anything else before we move on? Because we're gonna have to. I assume I'm gonna suspect. While everyone else is looking around, I'm gonna walk towards the end, and I suspect this ends much like the last hallway did.
Yeah, this hallway's a little short. But it did kind of end just a solid stone at the end of the hallway.
Well, if this is
Anyone
the
have-
end, then
One door
Make-
left and one tiny opening.
one door
Let's
to
meet
break
back out
down.
front. Well, let's meet back out front, and we'll consider this.
Okay.
You all go out back front, and your 3 little NPC friends are a lot quieter than when they first got in here. Chip is sticking with the group. He's not going off and exploring. He looks like he's in deep thought. Flora is also pretty quiet, and Toby is just he's pale.
Oh,
Hey.
sweet baby.
Toby,
Yeah.
what's the last thought you just had?
I don't know if it just. I hope my mom's okay.
Your mom and everyone else, they're still alright. And that's why we're here, to make sure it stays that way, alright?
I just don't know how long it's gonna be all right.
There's a certain way of thinking you learn when you live in a monastery. You understand history. You understand that there is a very big picture all around us. It makes the world feel a lot smaller. It makes it all feel like it's insignificant. But the other thing you remember is that you get up every day, you do the same chores, and you see the same faces around you. All of them having the same equally complicated thoughts that you are. All of them have lives, all of them have aspirations, dreams. And that's why I left to go join a rescue team. So that one day when something like this did happen, I was there to try and do something about it. Because we put one foot in front of the other so that they don't have to. You understand?
You see his eyes are welling up with tears, but he sort of holds it back and he gives you a smile, a nod.
All right. As far as I'm concerned, the next step is finding Uxie. That's to everyone.
Well, do you guys want me to break down this door, or are we gonna look somewhere else? Because I haven't found Uxie yet.
The third one's the future. I'm pretty sure we're agreed on that theory. I think the door's there because we're not supposed to see it.
Well, we still have
Yeah,
to find Uxie.
Should I go up to that thing?
I think it's worth going up. That's the only different one.
Yeah, I'll go check that out.
Lee, it's about like 10 feet up, so you're able to just float up, and you see this long, sort of thin. It's a very thin opening, and there's roots just grown heavily all along the wall, and you see a small opening at the very end, and you're able to fit through it, and you kind of look down, but probably not all of your friends could make it through.
What do you see?
What did I see? It's
You
just
you only see like a long hallway, and it's filled with roots, and there's light at the other end. You'd have to go all the way through to see what's on the other side, but you just kind of found this small opening.
only somebody who's tiny could make it through here with me, I think.
I could get us up there.
Oh yeah, Parker
Yeah,
can't get us up there.
Yeah, this is going to involve a lot of back and forth trips from you.
Yeah, that's fine. I just don't
Okay.
think Kai is gonna be.
No, Parker has ally switch.
Well, I mean, the passage itself is really tiny, isn't it?
Don't here. Go to the other side of the passage, Lee, and just look down at me through the hole.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And then I'm gonna ally switch with Lee, and then just look down through the hole and try to ally switch with Kai.
Alright, give me just a sec.
You're gonna find out that this ceiling headroom's like 3 feet or something.
I'm gonna find out that the roots actually, or the thing you're standing on, is actually made of paper mache or cardboard.
Yeah, it's just a thin layer of dirt. Hey, if you break it wider open, we have a bigger hole to crawl through. Hey, I haven't used ally switch in a while.
Yeah, I'm not in it.
You see Chip kind of runs up and he's like, I can help too. And he goes to the end and he uses Volt Switch, which we're gonna say is similar to Ally Switch, except you get like, it's like you rubbed your feet on a carpet and then you touch someone, so it's like a little bit of a shock. It's like,
He rubbed his
like-
feet on Lee.
Yep.
It's like it's like ally switch, but you have frizzy hair.
Yes, correct.
Thank God I don't have any hair.
A little more fun. Yeah, I'll say you all are able. When you Lee, we'll say you're the first one kind of through, and you're waiting there for her to switch people back and forth. you see just this massive opening, and there's roots everywhere. And in the center, all the roots sort of twist together. And there's this very faint yellow light that's glowing through.
I'm gonna be responsible and patiently wait for everybody else to get here.
It's a Christmas miracle.
All right. Are we all up here?
Yeah, everyone made it through. You guys all see the same thing. It's just this large mass of roots that have been intertwined in the center. And there's this faint sort of yellow glow. And I want you all to make an insight survival alert check.
Okay, you all are here now. I'm going towards the glow.
Oh, God. Are you a fly going towards a light? Mine's a 1, by the way.
Don't worry, mine's a 5.
Yeah, you see the bug zapper you're about to fly into.
Yours a 1?
Yeah, mine's a 1.
Okay. Well, I guess Lee's the only one who sees this. Lee, you're like, I'm going. Everyone's here. It's cool. As you float on towards the center, you kind of take in your surroundings and you look around and you see the bottom, like the base of these roots that are intertwining are starting to turn like this gray color. And it looks like it's slowly spreading up.
Like right now?
No, I would say it looks like it's
Over the course of many years.
Yeah, over the course of time, it's been spreading up. You can tell it still looks like it's continuing to do so. But it's a very slow process.
Okay, so this place is dying.
That's what?
What?
Do you want to run by that one again?
Roots turning gray like the ash shit.
Okay. I'll just keep going forward for now.
All right.
I will say with that vague description, you do notice that as well, that the base of all these kind of towards the bottom starting to turn like this ashy gray.
Yeah, Lee's coughing because they're breathing in the dust from these roots.
I'm gonna
These asthma acts up.
I'm gonna say, be on your guard, because I'm suddenly wary of what state Uxie's in right now.
Okay, good to know.
Lee, I'll also say since you rolled, you did pretty good. That's a pretty good. You sort of pause and you wait for everyone to catch up, very impatiently, and you're looking around the room, and it doesn't feel like the room's still. It feels like it's breathing.
Oh shit, is this place fucking alive? Is this a giant revenant? Are we inside a giant revenant? What it, guys?
Why is that the first idea you have?
Well,
I
you
don't
did
know,
do
it's
something similar with
breathing.
the phantom.
I'm saying this in character, Kai, as a joke.
Oh, okay. I thought that was out of character.
I am more original than to copy Parker's exact idea. God.
I genuinely thought that was an out of character shit.
Okay, well, this thing looks like it's breathing.
Not breathing well.
Maybe
No.
it has asthma too.
Probably.
It seems less asthma and more lung cancer, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Well, do we have any surgeons nearby?
Uh,
Chip, do you have
I
a
know it-
PhD?
I have a knife.
I have PhD.
Did you get it from the same place that Mr. Mime got a PhD?
I am not at liberty to share that information.
Cool. Let's continue forward.
Let's go.
Honestly, this room is pretty empty. Besides, you just see this mass of like this really thick mass of twisted roots in the center. And there's roots on the wall, and just this whole room feels like it's breathing. And you see a very faint yellow light from the center of the roots in
Guys,
that big mass in the middle.
guys, I think I gotta go towards the light. I know it's like. I
At
think
least
I gotta
call
go
out
towards the
Uxie's.
light.
Call out for Uxie first.
Uxie!
Okay. Make it sound less violent.
Hi, we're here to help. I think. I don't know.
Are you
We
unsure
can
about
help.
that?
You're pretty powerful, so like, I don't fucking know what we can do.
Hold on, I didn't do a very good job with words, so I'm drawing a poor trace pad image.
Okay. I'm excited. Kai, why do we let Lee speak like the face of this group?
You're the one who told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the one who said I'm gonna float towards this thing like a moth.
Well, it seems like you wanted me to say something first, so I said something.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You gotta be real specific with me, man.
Okay, call out Yuxi's name in a non-threatening way that says we would like to help them if they are in trouble.
Okay. If you're in trouble, we want to help you. Please.
Okay, I did my best, but it's like a giant like root system is in the middle, and then there's roots on the walls and like on the edge, but it's all this one. It's like the core of an apple. It's like you're inside of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we get no response from Lee's call.
No, you do not.
Okay, Lee, now you can go towards the thing.
Okay, cool. Bye.
And that's the last we ever saw of them.
Also,
Lee, are you just gonna go like right on through?
I am a ghost.
Yeah, you are, and I forget that. And it's like a dumb hack.
Yeah.
All my walls.
You literally wall hacks, yes.
Literally just wall hacks. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Lee, you go right on through. And eventually you sort of reach the center. And you see this Pokemon connected to all these roots. It looks like the root almost like feeding off of this Pokemon. And sort of the yellow glow pulses from this Pokemon and into the root and around you. And you see what you assume is Uxie.
Hello.
But it's not quite how it has been depicted in all of the drawings. It's like shriveled up, and it's turned kind of this dark, this grayish color. This like it's like a raisin.
Okay. Oh, this boy got raisined.
what does that mean?
Needs
Fred?
moisturizer.
You see the Pokemon sort of shift, and you see it opens one eye.
Oh my god, okay, thank god you're alive.
Well, that was kind of rude.
Okay, I thought you were dead. I was really worried. Do you want some jerky?
I'm dried out and shriveled up. Let's eat more dried out and shriveled up things.
No.
This Pokemon just closes its eye that it's opened, and
Just
Lee.
choose death.
Lee, if it looks like it needs help,
using death.
I have a reviver seed from Mina. That might help.
My friends also got stuff. I have like a regular reviver seed here.
Ask them if they want out.
Do you want out? Okay. I can hear them. I guess you can't hear us out there. I don't know what's going on. Hi, we're here to help, and also we have many questions.
Lee, you You're like, hey, do you want out? Do you want some jerky? And suddenly you feel your body shift, and you all see Lee appear and just pop back in front of you.
Okay.
I don't think it wants to talk to Lee.
And then you all see this image appear before you, or I guess this Pokemon. You see the image of Uxie, and you guys don't see what Lee saw though. You guys just Uxie the way it's been sort of depicted in all of the images that so far, and it sort of is floating above you, and is just looks at you. You see it rub its temples and yawn, and he sort of opens one of his eyes and gives Lee a little bit of a dirty look.
I'm sorry. I really thought you were dead, and I was really worried.
It's been a while since anyone's been here. I can't say I was expecting again.
Yeah. Ooh, Echo. Uh-oh.
I will. Are you there, Sophie?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What's happening around here? It doesn't seem like everything's okay.
He sort of sighs and looks at you all. Says, It's complicated. Hey. What are you all doing here? Is there
We came for your help.
Well, I can certainly try. I don't know. I'm not. As your friend might have noticed, I'm not at full strength, but I'll do what I can.
I think Kai has a special reviver seed for Mina, if that'll help.
Oh, God, you still have that?
I have Mina's Reviver Seed, yes.
You see him sort of sigh, and he sort of gestures to like put it away, and he's like, I appreciate the offer, but it's not gonna help.
We want to know. There's a Pokemon that seems to be threatening us and our home, and we think it's aligned itself with Havoc.
You see him sort of sigh, and he's like, this Pokemon's been threatening this for a long time. Havoc has been here for a long time, and though he's not what he used to be, still he holds some influence here. And I believe the Pokemon you are speaking of is part of the influence that he holds.
He took some of our friends. Is there any way to get them back?
Is Sophie turning into a robot for anyone else?
A little bit.
What? Dang it. I don't
You're
know.
okay. You're okay right now. Just go with it.
Yeah. I just could not hear that last sentence.
Okay. I forgot the question now. What was the question?
Is there any way to get our friends back that he has?
You see him pause for a moment and think. There's many different ways to do certain things. And there's many different outcomes that could happen. I don't know. The future's never a fixed point. But there might be a way to help your friends. And
How?
he pauses a little bit to think how. Guys, I didn't think this through.
There's a lot of ways to do it. How do we do it then?
I don't fucking know. Figure that shit out yourself.
You see him sort of pause as he's going through all of the different outcomes, and he says, it's not my place to tell you how, but I can tell you it's possible. And to keep searching. There are answers I have, and if I were to tell you how I don't know if the outcome would be the same as I've predicted. It's complicated, but I do believe your friend, and mine as well, Mina, might be able to help. She specializes in healing, and though this is a bit more of a complicated situation, she might be able to help.
Okay, that's good at least.
How do we
Yep.
find him? How do we fight him?
That's a bit more of a complicated question. He's everywhere, and he's nowhere. His influence surrounds this of what remains here. For the other Pokemon, you see him kind of pause for a minute. There's a lot of things here that are connected, and this Pokemon in particular has a connection to someone close to you, and they don't seem to realize it. But if they were to remember, it would be very dangerous.
Why?
These two Pokemon are very similar and different. One was created from the other, and they have a shared link. Link has been cut off for now, but if it were to be reestablished, it could lead to complete destruction of our remaining world.
Okay, we don't want that. This is tricky.
I mean, I think after all this, the connection seems to be pretty clear on where Mew is.
Yeah.
But what happened? I mean, we saw Soren's past, and it was a bit fuzzy, so we didn't really get to see what happened.
This Pokemon sort of takes a long pause, sort of debating whether or not to tell you all, or I guess to trust you with this information. He sort of looks to you and says, I left a warning at the beginning, and deep in the halls of this cabin, that there's some things that knowing the answer to puts you in more danger. If you are willing to accept these terms, then I am willing to tell you.
I think Toby
Hold
should go
on.
outside.
Yeah, well, Uxie, can we talk to each other for a moment?
He sort of nods.
Toby, Lee's right. I want you to go back.
But I came this far. I want to know.
You came this far, but you're also still a kid.
And I can
You're
help.
you've been really helpful, and you've done really well, and you're really, really grown up. But sometimes you gotta be a kid still, and this is one of those times.
You see, Toby looks like he's about to protest, but you see
Toby.
Flora sort of pick him up, and she takes his hand and she looks and gives a little bit of a sad smile and starts walking out of the room.
Toby, I just want... I know it seems unfair, but I want you to know something. I believe that where we are standing, I believe this is what we are meant for. But you're meant for everything that comes after it.
He gives you a bit of a reluctant nod, and he follows Flora out of the room. You see Chip also goes with them. Chip sort of just gives you all a bit of a sad look. I don't know if I'm ready, and maybe you guys can tell me later, but maybe the less people who know, the less risk there is. I don't want to put Ellie in any danger.
That's alright.
Yeah, that's understandable, Chip. We're good.
And
Thank you guys for taking Toby.
So Chip, Toby, and Flora have all left.
Also, Sophie, can you turn the volume of the music on your side down? Because that's what's drowning you out sometimes.
Okay.
Because we hear the echo of the music and then it lowers your volume.
Okay. Hopefully this is fine. Let's see.
It's been fine recently. I just figured that's what was happening before.
It's because I'm using my serious voice.
Your serious voice.
Yeah.
Your computer doesn't like your serious voice. It gets very scared.
Serious voice right there.
You see Uxie's kind of looks to you and sort of nods, notices that everyone's left the room, and he looks to Lee and he says, well, I guess we'll start here. Before your friend so rudely jumped into my chambers. Usually I have a normal introduction. My name's Julio, and It's nice to meet you all.
Good to meet you too. I'm Parker. This is Lee.
Emily.
And this is Kai.
He sort of smiles and just says, "I know."
No,
Yeah.
Well,
It was,
Fair enough.
it's polite. It's polite.
Courtesy.
He laughs a little.
so
There's
what's the big secret?
Well, let's start here. You have heard, I'm sure, plenty of the Pokemon Mew, and as well as the Pokemon who's been causing a lot of problems recently, Mewtwo. Long ago, Mew came to me and asked to forget who she was, to forget everything about it, and in doing so, it would cut off the link from her and from Mewtwo. That way, he wouldn't have any power over her or any of her other friends. She made the choice to forget everything to protect those around her. This Pokemon, you know, is Skitty. Her name's Sophie. She's been going as a guild leader and working alongside Soren. He's the only one besides me who knows.
Well, that explains a lot about Soren.
Yeah,
If she
I
were
feel like he's
to
gonna stop us
remember-
on this day.
If she were to remember who she was, there's a lot that could happen. The entire guild would be put in danger. The whole area around you would become a target. You all would become a target. Mewtwo might be able to see through her without her knowledge. And even though that is a two-way street and she could do the same, it's still a dangerous connection and one that is unstable. And you see him sort of sigh, and he takes a minute to collect his thoughts, and he said, It's been a long time since I've talked to her.
Is that the only way that we could end the problem? Because even without that connection, things are happening and it's getting worse.
I think if you reestablished the connection, the deteriorating of the planet and the Pokemon that are turning bad would happen faster. What we've done now, I suppose, is put a band-aid on a bullet hole. And so far, it's helping, but it's not a permanent solution. So if you were to reestablish that link, you must be sure that is the right decision and that you know where to go from there.
Who or the wound, the bullet hole as you called it, what happened? What was at the beginning?
This world used to be a lot different. There used to be other creatures living here with us. It was beautiful. And we we all lived in peace. At least, you see him sort of struggle for words as he gets a little lost in thought, trying to explain exactly what happened, as well as he's remembering a lot of really traumatic events.
We
He sort of sighs and says, the Pokemon you know as Havoc, or I guess the entity, whatever it is, has the power to travel to different worlds. There's more than just ours. There's different universes, there's different timelines. It's complex. Even I can't fully understand how the timelines and how everything works. But I know that in our time, we have been cut off from everyone else. Havoc took our world and severed it from the others and slowly began to eat everything and take apart everything. He's hungry and he'll never be satisfied. He destroyed almost our entire world. Only a section of it was saved. Another Pokemon was sort of Havoc's counterpart, and she kept this world in balance. But Havoc almost consumed her. And in the end, the choice was made to free her from this world so she could save the others. We're completely cut off, not just from the humans, but from the rest of time. Havoc is stuck here with us as of now. And he's still here, and he's still hungry. And for now, he's being kept at bay. But I don't know how much longer that will last. You see him, he starts to cough, and you feel the around you like begin to shake.
What about
Okay,
this
that's
place?
soothing.
Why? What about this place? Why? It seemed sick when we were coming through. What is happening to you?
I'm part of what's keeping Havoc out of here. And I can't keep it up forever. I'm dying. And this place is too. It's connected to me, and I'm connected to Havoc. I don't know exactly where he is or what exactly his status is. I'm keeping him out, and I can feel him every day trying to reach in and break through, and I won't let him.
What do the colored diamonds do? They had the same color as Havoc. And they responded to the weird crystal we saw before.
You see Uxie sort of turn to you, and do you show him the diamonds that you have?
If he asks, I wasn't holding them out because now I'm worried about holding them now.
Oh, okay. He does. How do you know about that? Besides, I guess there was the mural on the wall long ago. That's
What?
part of him.
That was at a carnival.
A lot of things were at that carnival.
It's at the carnival.
It was at the carnival. I'm really worried about this carnival.
What would happen if we destroyed them?
Same when we destroyed the last, or when the last one broke, it did fly off to the void, which probably wasn't good.
I don't know what would happen. I think what you have there is such a small fraction. I wouldn't worry too what happened. I think things will be okay. But I would keep those safe and don't go touching rocks to other rocks and just keep them there. And he sort of just like gives you a pat on the head.
What do we do now? The future corridor is locked. So we don't know what happens next, do we?
It's a complicated question. There's a lot of different things that could happen next. I've been down that corridor and I sealed it off because I couldn't bear to look at it anymore. Every time I went down, it was just black and cold. I never saw anything different there. But it's been sealed for so long. I don't know what else there could be. I'm hoping that maybe the future isn't all so bleak. But what you do next is up to you. Could continue to live your lives. Everything's, well, it's fairly safe. Maybe not ideal, but it could be worse. I'm sure you saw some of the images in the past hallway. Things aren't perfect, but it's still being held together.
I mean, a lot of our friends got put. Team Balance got like put with the purple crystals. I don't think we can do nothing anymore. Like we've been trying to figure this out, and I think we have to see it through.
That's why I said it's up to you. You can choose to try and do something and stop this. Maybe you'll make things worse. Maybe you'll make things better. It's not something that I choose not to look too closely into the future. There's too many probabilities. So much that could go wrong, and knowing too much physically hurts.
We are Team Wonder. And that means we're going to do something.
You see him smile as you say that. I'm glad there's still there's maybe something for the future. It's Pokemon like you that give me hope that maybe it's not all dark.
Anything we can do to help you?
Well, I think I just need a good long nap after this. And he just kind of stretches, and Lee, he glares at you again.
Okay, I'm not gonna go to your private room anymore. I'm so sorry. I thought you were dying.
Well, I am dying, but I prefer not to see it.
Yes, I'm very sorry, and I bow. My head.
He just kind of like jokingly like smacks you on the head. I'll be okay. I think what you should do now is seek out all the protectors. If you were to get maybe everyone together, perhaps something could change. I don't know what, but the combined power of the protectors and of my brother and sister, the other lake spirits, as well as eventually Mew. Maybe something could change. I don't know what, I don't know how, but I know that together we're all stronger.
We'll come find you when we do.
He nods and he yawns and kind of stretches, and he begins to start to slowly like fade.
Thank you.
And you are all left in this empty room.
Well, did that live up to everyone's world-shattering expectations?
Well, the world was shattered both literally and figuratively, so...
Yeah? Oh boy.
Well,
We need to go meet the others at the library.
yeah,
Yeah.
suppose that's all we have here.
I think it goes without stating, but this is Team Wonder's secret now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, kind of going along with it, I don't want to say this in front of everybody else, but we have the hint of trying to find all the protectors.
Yeah.
And this is in all seriousness, not me just wanting to know stuff. This is maybe there could be something that could help us. Do you want me to try and go in the future room?
Half of me does and half of me don't. Uxie went in the future room a lot, and I believe that's part of what's killing him. Knowing what happens, he loses hope.
No, I wouldn't go far. I just, if there's anything that could give us a hint as to where the other protectors could be or anything in the future.
I'm gonna be
And then
honest. I don't think we go in. Because the future is gonna show us is something that'll change by us doing something else. Just knowing the future is gonna change what we do. If we're gonna do it, I don't think we need a prophet to tell us how to do it.
We're deciding what the future is right now. I don't think we need the hallway.
Okay.
I think what we do what we think is best, not what the hallway thinks, or what the hallway shows us.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
As of this day, Team Wonder's secret is not of a war between light and darkness that happened long before any of us were born. It's the fact that we're here to rescue every world, and not just ours. Because if Havoc leaves, it happens to everywhere else.
Speaking on that, I think I had a thought while Uxie was talking to us, and when I asked about my question about the diamonds. These are Havoc's power, and I know it's a minuscule amount, but it's power that was stripped away. Meaning it can be stripped away, and has been stripped away, and that he's weaker. Meaning it can happen again, and that it's going to be easier the second time. Even if this great being that was sent away from this world took all his power to do it, it's still easier the second time. It can happen again.
Havoc's not invincible. And Havoc probably wants those back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that means the Mewtwo wants them back. Meaning
Yeah.
I should no longer show these around to people.
Yeah, probably not. We're gonna
But
bury those deep in your little backpack there.
there's one thing I did disagree with. I mean, if this is Havoc's power, and obviously if it works with the crystal, doesn't that mean it's something that we can use as well?
That's what I was wondering, because why not use it against him? If we can.
I don't know if that's a great idea.
Well, leaving it for Mewtwo to collect
Or
probably also isn't a good idea.
maybe not us. Maybe we talk to the protectors.
Right now we gather the protectors, and that's all we have. We know a fair bit of them, but we've still got more than half to go. Gonna be a lot more journeys.
Should we spend a lot of time researching in that hall? See if we can find anything? Just
think
before
we spend some time. When we get back, the other three, we tell them that now we need to look for the protectors, and they will help us study the hallway of the present. We'll see what we can find, and after that, anything else we can't find out, we can probably go towards the library up north.
And Soren.
Meet up with the rest of the guild. Soren, his brother.
You know, yeah, Soren's probably gonna flip the fuck out a little bit. Also, Soren's been dealing with this for like thousands of years now? With nobody to talk to about it.
Yeah. Well, we don't know how much Soren knows.
Well, he knows about Mew, and
Yeah.
Uxie did say that Soren knew about what happened to Mew, meaning Soren knows about the connection, and Soren was there when Havoc appeared, so he knows about Havoc.
So he probably knows Sophie is
Probably
Mew.
knows everything.
So yeah, it's pretty safe to assume he knows enough.
Yeah. So we'll have a chat with him.
No one else. Not a single other Pokemon.
Yeah, no, absolutely not other people. Only
I'm saying
Soren.
this over and over again so everyone here remembers.
Yes.
We do not tell anyone.
Yes. Especially Sophie.
Especially Sophie.
Yeah, you heard that right, DM. We ain't telling you shit.
No, I don't like that I'm not included.
Go to secrets.
Yeah, you're not allowed in here.
Wow.
Alright. Well,
Okay.
I think we should leave.
Yeah, let's go get the others to help us research and find hopefully where these things are.
Suffice to say, the air in this tree is suffocating.
Yeah.
Mm. That was a
I-
morbid pun.
You're a father now.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
You're a father now.
The strange delivery boy.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't in the delivery room.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We now...
Well, actually, we know the location of 6.
Yeah. That's another guardian. That's another protector.
And the previous one is no
That's a
more.
baby. Oh boy.
Yeah, I gave you guys such a big head start on this.
We only
Thank
actually,
God.
assuming that the 2 that were the same statue are in the same
They
place,
seem
there's only 4
they're
more
depicted as a-
locations.
They're depicted as almost literally attached to the hip, so we'll probably find them together.
There's only 4
Yeah.
locations that we actually need to find. The other we already know, and coincidentally, they're in the same place.
Man, maybe I made this too easy.
No, I feel like it's still not
No.
going to be easy. Don't
Here's the
worry.
thing.
It is.
It's been a while since we saw our good old friend Mewtwo. As in, it's been since Mina's Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still saying stay on alert around here. This is exactly the kind of place that Mewtwo wants.
So let's leave.
Yeah.
All right, you guys head out of the small kind of hallway, and you see behind you, roots sort of close up over that small entrance that you came in through. And you are back standing in front of the 3 hallways, and you see Chip, Toby, and Flora.
Hello.
Hi.
You guys are all pretty chipper.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna find some people, and we're gonna beat up the mean guy.
Who wants to meet more legendary Pokemon?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that one's really cool. It's like celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta go in that hall and research where the rest of them that we don't know are.
The
Cool.
plan right now is we go in the hallway of the present, take notes on any other of the legendary Pokemon you can find, and any more we can't find, we're gonna meet up with the rest of the guild at the library and find out the rest there.
Cool. Sounds like a plan. I'm still not traumatized at all. Anyway, you see him just walking the hallway. He's definitely holding back tears, and Flora just is on his tail, just like shit. She's just right behind him, and Toby's like, "Well,
How are you doing?
I'm a new man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yeah?
the world's
Yes,
ending.
Toby?
No, the world's not ending.
The world's ending.
It's okay.
Yeah,
We'll go to
not
McMimes
ending.
on the way back.
Oh my god! Thank God. Can I have an ice cream?
No.
We'll see if they have soy made ice cream.
I'll get you an ice cream and you can immediately eat an orangeberry afterwards.
I don't think. I
Okay.
think that's just gonna throw up the orange.
But Lee,
We'll figure it out.
Soy made ice cream.
We'll figure it out, Toby. We'll figure it out together.
All right, you guys go. You're going back into the present hall, or
The now.
5, 6.
We know where Mew is. I'm saying this out of character, by the way. I'm not listing all this shit.
I mean, I could list the ones we need. I have it all written out here.
I have it too.
Okay.
But yeah, we know Mew, we know Diancie, we know Zora, we know Mina, and we know Nox. It's
And we know
5.
Uxie.
And Uxie, obviously. Uxie's here. So that means there's the other 2 lake spirits, the 2 joined ones, the lion, and the ocean one.
Okay. Well, I can tell you for sure. Some of the things I'm gonna say will be very unhelpful and not narrow it down at all.
I'm assuming that the ocean one is in water.
There's also there's a few more, aren't there?
I think
That was
is
a
there
lot. I
one
counted
more?
11, didn't I? Am I crazy?
The small ocean one,
Small ocean.
the twins,
Yep.
Lion.
there was a large winged Pokemon with deep blue eyes.
Yep.
Oh, were the lake spirits not counted in the 10?
No,
I think they're counted as
Oh,
one.
okay.
I don't know what they're counted as. I didn't count them.
Okay,
Yeah,
they're
so
just not
okay.
counted.
Never mind.
They don't
I'll
count.
have to redo my count then.
There's something entirely separate. They're not in the protectors.
Yeah, 3 lake spirits and Mew are like a different category.
Okay.
So, okay, then we already
okay.
only know Zora, Diancie, Mina, and Nux. That's 4. So we need technically 7, but actually 6 because 2 in the same.
So we
Yeah.
need the small ocean creature, the twins, the large blue-eyed wing creature. There was another wing creature that was the size of Zora, whose orb was represented by a rainbow. There's a crescent Pokemon, and the broken statue, the large broken statue, which we're now assuming is the lion creature. So
Okay,
we
so-
have 6 to find.
For my own notes, pink was Diancie.
Yeah.
Red and black,
Blue-
or whatever was.
red and blue are Latios and Latias.
Yeah,
Dark.
want me to give you the list? Like, you're gonna like. You
I
don't
was
know
being subtle.
these Pokemon, and like you as Pokemon are like, I don't know what that is, but like you as normal people know what this is.
Yeah, we'll
That would be
exchange
great.
our out of character notes after the session after we turn off
Okay,
stream.
cool.
Just so we keep it all immersive.
A mystery.
A
Okay.
mystery dungeon, because we're underground. And
Hey, we did a
Oh
mystery
my
dungeon.
god!
guys,
We
it's a
did a
mystery dungeon.
Why is our first
Mystery dungeon.
I think we've done a few.
We've done a few mystery dungeon. I think Murals also counted as a mystery dungeon.
That's a mystery dungeon. That's
And
true.
the Mount Illusion.
Yep. Okay. You look for the small ocean Pokemon.
Yeah, we'll start with that one.
Hmm.
It's underwater. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I think
Well,
I see...
guys,
I think I see some rocks down there.
fair enough. Don't know what I expected on that
Yeah,
one.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
be
let's.
This one, you are not going to be able to pinpoint a location. You just see lives in.
In the water. Great. All right. Let's move on to the twins.
Yeah, let me
Cool.
give you some more very unhelpful hints.
Okay. Are the twins just going to be in the air?
I'm thinking.
They're moving very
Oh.
fast in the air.
There's a mountain. Then there's a mountain again. There it is again. And again.
Hey, I think that's Mount Illusion. Oh, I don't know that mountain.
Hi and Lee, I want you to make a
Wait, what now? You cut out.
Insight.
smart.
Oh, smart?
Smart.
Smart.
Just smart.
Just
Oh
smart.
boy.
Just smirts. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Please.
I got one.
I think I know where this is going.
I got one. One successful
Okay, sorry,
smart.
my dashboard just started freaking. Okay, what the hell has happened? Everything got bigger and I didn't do the
Just-
command. Okay.
And smart.
Okay, so what we're doing smart?
Just
Just
smart.
smart.
Just smart.
Smart. 2 dice. All right.
We both did it. I
Woo!
got a 6 in my smart.
Kai, even though you blacked out for part of this experience, you do remember a lot of clouds.
Oh, up
and
there.
just this large cloud tower.
Oh no, Kai.
I
So where
wonder
you
if
see-
my
you
Altaria
also-
master knows how to get up there.
Yeah, Lee, you also have that sort of recognition, like, oh wait, we've been here. This is in a big old cloud tower up in the sky.
My God.
I wonder if my Dragon Dance sensei knows the way up.
That's gonna be real awkward going back there.
Hey.
Um,
Hey, Sophie, just to sorry to backtrack just a second.
uh-huh.
It was brought to my attention that it's actually a decent idea. Was the ocean one like bright like surface water or dark like deep ocean?
Could we see the sun? The sunlight.
I would say it is like you could see light coming through. It is not bottom of
Okay.
But
we definitely know it's the ocean.
Yeah,
It's too deep to be a lake.
I'm gonna say it's not. Okay,
Uh-huh.
how do I put this? Trying to
Okay.
do my ocean geography. It's
Okay.
not like in a coral reef or any sort of shallow area.
It's
Pretty
open
much
ocean.
Open ocean, but the level of which it was at, it's not like super deep where there's no light reaching. You still have a pretty good visual range.
Okay.
If
That's
the
all I wanted to
geo
know.
in geology or in like geography means rock, does that mean this would be aquography?
I don't know.
Oceanography.
There you go.
I don't know if that's
All right, so we have a bead on. We know one's in the ocean. We know the other one, Sky Temple. Much more specific.
I hope we didn't break
Okay.
anything when we fell through there.
We did.
You broke someone's room.
We did.
Oh god.
Like a human lawn dart.
Yeah, I think you messed up pretty bad there.
That wasn't my fault.
Again, I
Oh,
thought it would be
it's not-
hilarious if there was just a Rayquaza that was just like sitting there chilling, and then you guys was
Just like Quazo's like pissed. I hope
like,
you guys.
what the fuck was that?
The Guardians aren't gonna talk to you. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you're the asshole who wrecked my room."
Hey, maybe they won't recognize Kai. Maybe they won't recognize Kai.
I look a lot different nowadays.
We just gotta hide Lee or evolve Lee before then.
I got evolved. I just got evolved.
Yeah, how's that? Do you feel a doll now?
Jeanette, let's see. Sophie,
Yeah. What
do I feel doll?
What?
Do you
I
feel?
don't know.
The doll
Do
that's
I,
inside
do I
the...
feel more like a doll?
Lee did absorb a doll before, remember?
Doll?
Yeah, I know that was just a really strange way to phrase the question, and I was.
Do you feel
Feel
Like,
the
just
a
rhythm.
doll?
Feel the rhyme.
Do you feel the doll?
Okay, I'm gonna concentrate really hard. I'm gonna think about being the doll.
While he's
Okay.
concentrating, I'm gonna look for more Pokemon.
Make a will check.
Yep.
I got.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll deal with that later.
Cool.
Neat.
Okay, we've moved on to the large winged Pokemon with deep blue eyes.
Okay, you see this Pokemon is in like almost like the middle of a hurricane. Like it's in the eye of a storm.
Okay. Look for a tornado or a hurricane or a freaking monsoon. That's a okay. That one's. I feel like that one's gonna be rough. That one's gonna be a little violent.
Probably easy to find though.
But yeah, you
Yeah.
know, look for the perpetual storm. All
I'm
right.
so afraid with all these ocean
what
ones
about the
that we're gonna
rainbow
run into a
Pokemon?
torpedo.
Yeah, we've got a rainbow. Well, we've got a Pokemon, a winged Pokemon the size of Zora that was represented by a rainbow orb. So yeah, we saw the shape of it. We just don't. Yeah.
You see, thinking. I'm thinking of like cool places to put everyone and like
Oh,
make
God.
sure they're not close to. It's like obnoxious enough that it's a journey.
They're all just having a meet up in this one spot. It's real convenient.
You see this Pokemon flying in the sky, and beneath it is a small island, and it looks like there's all these bright rocks underneath it. Like just these brightly colored pebbles.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's what I'll give you.
Sorry, I sneezed.
We can work with
missed
that. We can work with that. We have the Crescent Pokemon,
Okay.
represented by a pinkish purple orb.
Yeah. Let me think.
Where was the rainbow? I sneezed during the start of that explanation.
Okay. It is. The only thing we can make out is that it's flying over a small island with brightly colored rocks.
Okay.
I should maybe write down what I'm saying.
I
have them written
am.
down if you. Several of us are writing them down, so you can steal our notes afterwards.
Wait, I'm gonna look at your guys' notes later.
Okay. But yeah, the Crescent Pokemon. It's with pinkish purple orb.
Let me think. I'm trying to. This is dumb. I should have written them down before. Sure. Sure.
That's the part. We hit the part. All the notes that Sophie made. We got to the part where we asked questions that Sophie didn't think about.
Yeah. This is the improv part. This is my improv lore.
No
Currently, I
racism.
have that pulled up, and I'm just looking at spots, and I'm like, what would be cool?
Where have they not been? That's cool.
Where can I throw them?
It's very fortunate that we haven't been to a lot of places.
I know. That's why I'm trying to like spread you out across the map too.
We never actually went up Mount Thunder either. We just went under it.
You see the I don't know. We're gonna come back to this.
This whole list, or just that one?
No, just this one.
Oh, okay.
Now you're looking for the lion.
Yeah.
Great, there's nothing. It's black. You see nothing.
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna come back.
Okay. Good job, team. Good job.
Good job.
We reconvened. All right, gang. Split for clues. We found nothing. Great. Come back.
That's not great. That's gonna be hard.
Maybe
Yeah,
he's
sorry,
in a guys. Maybe he's in Pitfall Cavern.
Josh.
I'm gonna kill you.
Maybe he's up your butt. I don't know.
He's the doll.
He is the doll.
This one you see. Well, I'm trying to think of like what the area looks like without like.
It could just be a
I don't
very
wanna-
vague one, like the ocean is in the ocean.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like that vague, but like I don't want to give it to you. You know, like. You know what? I kept going back and forth on this, and I'm just gonna go with. You recognize this area as the area where you all first met. You see Moon Bay Isle.
Okay.
Okay,
That's the most
cool,
concrete
cool.
one we've gotten so far.
I will just get
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. I mean, you've been very vague on the past ones, so you know.
I
What?
think
What?
Nothing and ocean.
automatically. You just watched one birthed on screen. Like you know where half of them are.
I just saw one's first steps, if it had feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
this
did it
one
have
is
feet?
also you notice it's like flying. It's in and beneath it is Moon Bay Isle. So it's somewhere in that location.
Alright. Well, is that all of them?
That's all of them.
I think that's a good plan. You know, it
I
would be
think that's a
very
good-
That's a
convenient if
solid
there was a screen for Mewtwo, huh?
Yeah. Feel like we're not gonna get
Yeah.
that lucky. They just look at it and start flipping us off.
It's just there's a cardboard cutout of him on one of the
Yeah.
screens.
It says on lunch. You did see kind of that image of Mewtwo's little evil lair, but it was like a really like low res, fuzzy. Like you are not getting any information from it. Besides, there is 4 testing, and there is 4 Pokemon in there,
Actually,
and Mewtwo is probably in there.
I just thought of something that was very interesting. A lot of what we saw was destroyed, right? Of the old world.
Yeah.
We've been to that lab.
That's true.
That
Wait,
lab was in the
where-
old world. We've been
Yeah,
there.
where... Hold on. Yeah. Wait, what? What is that? Wait, does that mean that it's the old world's still out there?
Fragments.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Hey, quick question. Where did I say that was?
You
We went
didn't.
through mirrors.
Yeah, we entered through extra-dimensional space, so how the hell do we know?
We don't know
No.
where it is.
Wait, I was like, did I give this like a concrete
No,
land.
you did
I
not.
only
This is us
connected
having
the
a
dots
theory.
right now because we saw the humans in the lab in one
Yeah,
of the past
okay.
screens.
It was just like, I was freaking out because I was like, oh no, was I dumb? And I was like, yes, this is up in Kyanite range where every.
No. All we know is that
Freaking-
all we know as in character is that humans were there and we've been there.
Yes.
Very briefly.
Yes. Yep.
So that place exists. That fraction of the old world.
We
That's
can
interesting.
try.
That means there's stuff out there in the void then.
It's not just darkness.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't give you like a concrete location. I was like,
Yeah.
my whole
Shoot, I just-
story upside down. What did I do?
Oh
Don't Sophie a heart attack here.
I was gonna be so mad at myself. I was like, because you were like, old world's still here, and I'm like, oh no, what have I done?
We know about as much of the old world being there as a small, probably like 10-foot by 10-foot room.
It's just that one little room
Right.
floating in space somewhere.
As far as we know, that could be all that's left.
Good save.
Oh my
But
god.
it's something.
Okay. All right. All right, team. We need to go to meet up with the rest of the guild at the library now.
All right, speed run it to the library. Let's go.
Wouldn't it be easier if we just head back to the base since they might also be heading back to the base since they didn't know where the lake is?
Well, I was figuring we could research some of these locations at their library.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let's see. So they're at the library right now.
Yeah, that's where we split up, and they went towards the library, so we could meet up with them there.
Yeah, I was. Does it look? Sophie, does it look like they're cleaning up their research, or are they still deep in research?
They actually all died. It's crazy.
Like, I don't know. I could be really mean and just be like, yeah, they fucking left.
I mean, if they left, we'll just meet them back at the freaking guild.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just decides where we're going next.
Thinking. You know what? I'll say they're there. They're still looking.
Okay.
There's a lot to go through. It's a massive library. Like, I was picturing the Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, there's a lot to go through.
And I feel like Cole isn't helping.
Yes.
Reading
So
glasses
we
on
can go.
very smart.
Okay,
He's looking very studious.
yes, at Teenage Mutant Ninja Squirrels.
That was rude, but it's also correct.
Hmm.
This is why we're friends.
I feel like Teenage Mutant Ninja Squirrels is like the first edition has just survived from the old world, and that's why it's the only comic book series in this entire world.
Oh my god, true.
They're like hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics.
Beautiful.
It's actually a proud recounting of Squirtle's national history.
Oh my god, so true.
All right.
All right. Is there anything else you guys need? Any other nosy business?
Existential crying.
Yeah. Maybe we should save that for after everybody else goes to bed.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think Chip and Toby are still in the middle of their existential crying. Flora has yet to break. You don't know how long she's gonna keep it together, though.
Yeah,
She's unreadable.
I feel like
Time
Flora's
bomb.
like Faye. They both give me a little bit of a scary read. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fair.
Especially after that whole Harper poster incident, I'm a little afraid of Faye. I'm a little terrified of Faye.
Good, as you should be.
Like at one point, I'm like, I feel like I could go to the past room and look at Faye's past, but at the same time, I don't think I want to.
I think it's time to leave.
Time to leave?
Time to leave.
I'm gonna leave.
You don't want to see Merle and Steve's wedding?
I don't think I.
Oh, I'd love
Yeah,
to
fine.
see Steve.
Okay.
I'd love to see that wedding.
Okay. You guys head out of the forced hole that you think maybe you solved a puzzle to open the door.
Or just caved in.
Upon closer inspection, you can tell that by just like adding that little bit of extra weight to sort of the stone mural that was on the ground, it just caved in.
Ah. Hey, that was
expert puzzle solvers.
We had like an illusion weight problem puzzle, and we had a real weight problem puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we just broke Julian's front door, yeah?
Wait, what was
his name?
Wait.
Is that
Sophie,
what
what was
his name
Uxie's name?
His name was Jaleel, and that was
Okay.
Felix Dr. or Dr.
Jaleel.
Our good pal and friend who gave money and his life to be Uxie.
When
that's
we say
our
we put you into the game, we actually put you into the game.
I was about to say that's the patron. Oh my god. Okay, cool.
Yes, that is the patron. The one is. If any of you have ever seen Pokemon Forever, I've watched it like times. The Celebi, when it's like super dead.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a sun-dried raisin.
Yeah, it's like
that's what I was thinking too.
That is for sure exactly what that Uxie looked like.
That's truly why I found it hilarious that the first thing Lee thought to feed it was a piece of shriveled up jerky with absolutely no water in it at all.
Yeah. Lee's just pulling like an Ash Ketchum, like, here's some berries, and like shoves it into his dead, dry mouth.
I feel like
Berries.
the Mina Reviver seed probably was like, it had something.
I mean, hey, it's the special Team Jerks jerky.
In fairness,
it gave me telepathy.
It did make him a champ regenerate an entire arm.
Lee, I love where your head's at, and maybe if our bud Jaleel would have just given it a chance, he would have been a new man.
Yeah.
You never thought.
Team Jerky works magic.
Like, I don't think Mina's Reviver Sheet would have done shit, but the jerky?
Oh, of course.
That's a different story.
Oh,
Anyways.
Doesn't know what he's missing.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna fast forward a bit. We're gonna say you make it out to the base of the forest, and that's kind of where we are going to end today.
Alright.
Day of absolute existential dread.
I genuinely thought we were gonna have to fight someone.
No, that's too much work because I had too much story.
I enjoy story.
I love story.
That was terrible for me.
Oh yeah, lore dump days are super heavy DM effort.
Ugh, I didn't even finish it. I literally wrote the stuff of like everything I had written down. I had everything past hallway written down, and then I stopped. Everything after the past hallway, I made up.
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, yeah.
I genuinely surprised that Lee did not look into where Harper was.
I know there was a couple of fun things. I'm very glad Lee said Sarge, because I was like, I'm gonna reveal that the war was real.
I had a feeling. I was like, there's somebody we're forgetting.
Oh, we could have. Well, here's the thing: we could have made an entire episode in there. We could have stayed in there all day. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But at some point, we had to move forward.
Look, guys, I can't give away all my secrets.
Oh my. Sophie, how much do you want to talk about, and how much you just want to let people piece together on their own?
You are welcome to ask questions. Will I answer them? I'll think about it.
Out of character me knows a lot.
Like,
stars have aligned and dots have been connected.
Like, Parker, I would say you personally, maybe don't give away all your
Okay.
You know maybe too much.
We'll hold down the fort. Yeah. It's fine.
You, sir, are heavily involved. I'd say let's do our discussions off screen. I will.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, yes.
Audience waiting.
That's fine. Just to be clear, audience, I don't know any of the shit of the actual campaign. I don't know any of that. I don't know what's going to happen at all.
Parker knows the past, not the future.
That's correct.
Sophie, are you really glad Like, this has nothing to do with what was planned and what wasn't planned. Are you glad that we did not go into the future door?
You know, I was thinking about like what I would do if that happened. If Lee was just gonna go in by themselves, I was gonna drag them in secret.
If Lee went in by themselves, I would say to Lee that I would not want them to tell me what happened. I am like, at least in this character, a staunch believer of I'm going to make my own destiny. I'm not going to let some room tell me what's happening.
Yeah.
And going in there wasn't so much like trying to figure out the absolute destiny. It was like, because I figured it's like pretty fluid and pretty loose. So it's like, maybe don't go in like this death pit or something. Like, I see us all die in a fucking pit. Yeah.
Oh, like you're like, oh, Sarge has been Havoc all along. That's
Chip was actually a secret.
That's
where he got all the skills.
Yeah. I don't know.
So we're gonna get a PMD Poker Roll crossover movie special in like 3 years. Yeah, maybe full deck.
That's what the Patreon money, we're just gonna fund a movie.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
we're
lot of
gonna
money.
fund a whole animation department. No, this is the point where me and Sophie sit down and we're like, this is gonna last longer than we thought. These campaigns are gonna go on a lot longer than intended.
I wanted this to be like 10 sessions max and just cut it off because I didn't want to DM. But I'm in too deep and I have too many red lines connected on my walls of.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Rip.
How about experience, Sophie? How's that feeling?
Yeah.
None of you get it. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. You want to remove some? I'll just leave some on the floor.
I give you guys so much experience.
You sure do.
Because I'm too nice. But I also just like to jack up the enemies.
That's how you throw like Final Fantasy monstrosities at us. So
Hey.
You guys are all jacked as hell. Because I'm like, I don't know, full experience. Happy Thanksgiving. I don't know what I like.
I am personally 20 experience away from maxing my vitality and having the rawest abs and beauty around.
Okay, everyone gets 19 then.
I see. You see, that's what I knew was gonna happen.
I'm joking. We'll do 10.
18.
10?
Okay.
10.
10.
10.
Okay.
All right.
One more session.
Even Sophie gets 20 experience because she did all.
Sophie did
I
a
did
lot.
Yeah.
You know what? I think Sophie gets 100 experience.
I agree.
Oh lordy. Then I'm not changing anything right now then.
I'm gonna keep saving it for that vitality. I want to max out my defense and health. When Sophie says I'm gonna roll 20 dice, I'll say, okay, I'll be at half health at the end of this.
Uh-huh.
I'll be like, okay.
I do plan to make you fight gods, so like
Train
it's
it.
fine.
I'm
training. I am training to fight God.
Look, here's the thing. Parker is going to max out his strength, and I'm going to max out my vitality, and I'm just going to be a wall, and he's going to punch God in the face.
That's the plan.
Lee?
You know what?
I don't know what Lee's going to do.
What's up, Sophie?
No, I said I was gonna deal with something later, and then I just did it.
You just didn't. What was it?
Lee, I'm gonna message you.
Oh boy.
Hey, guess what? That's what we'll start with next time.
We're done. We'll start
Yes.
with next time. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to turn around and Lee's a fucking bigger than they. Doll? Ghost.
Hey, Lee.
I don't really know what to call a Bane.
Yeah.
Lee, I think you need your pronouns in like bios to be like it, they, them, doll. I really want you to do that now.
That was beautiful. That was amazing. Okay, Sophie, read us off and we end it there. That is exactly where the stream ends.
Oh, that was incredible.
Sophie, read us off.
All right. This time on Massive World Conspiracy Theory, Kai in fact does not flatten the thumb rat. Toby is the official lantern bearer. Deep lore dive. Deep like deep sea diving. Lee, does this blanket have any dairy? This hallway started as TikTok and got very heavy. I think Cynthia got Thanos snap. Toby is the descendant of a Sinnoh champion, maybe a chosen one? This seems to be a hallway of knowledge of everything. Lee is a damp alcoholic washcloth. Kai finds his trauma. Lee is allowed to use a knife. Not really. Parker learned how to use chopsticks all the time. Mirror alert. Oh no, not a mirror. Are these life security features? Sophie was not prepared for questions about herself. The egg is still a mystery, but its parents met a mysterious Team Balance, also known as Billy, Bob, and Jim. Chip and Ellie know Team Balance? Oh yeah, no one else really knew about Team Balance. Speed round with side characters. If you ever make a mistake, you can kill it dead. Sophie, 2021. I'm getting that tattooed. The war. Did it happen? The War with Grandpa is a movie and Lee did not make it. Two Scythers wrestling. Isn't that a sword fight? The egg is hatching! It's a... I don't know what this is. Yancy? That's a... What is? What? I
That
can't
last
read.
part, by the way, that was not Parker.
Words are hard. Oh no. Toby needs some reassurance. Ally switch make grand return. Lee is the only one to... That always ends well. Root system. I mean the root... Okay, don't be rude. Breathing and also smokes a pack a day. Uxie is a raisin and doesn't want the jerky. Uxie has seen 18,500,000 comes. Toby's poor little heart. Okay, right here. Entire world-shattering deep dive conversation with, but I was too far immersed and intense to write down the details, but it's sworn to secrecy, so maybe I just didn't write it down, so I couldn't tell you. Time to research, we need to find some celebrity. Where's the lion? You see nothing. Gotcha, thanks. But what about Merle's wedding? It turns out that we didn't solve shit and just explored to get in.
Hi.
What a good time.
Alright.
What a good time.
Yes.
We're one
Yeah.
step closer to death.
Oh, the sweet
Bye,
embrace.
stream.
Bye, stream.
Oh, sorry.
I stream.
Sorry. I thought that was, bye.